3, 2, 1, and we are live. I'm here, EJ Boxing Live here, and the Joe Louis curse is in effect, and Jessica McCaskill upsets and defeats Cecilia Braekhus to become the undisputed worldweight champion in the world. Dan the man. Hey, listen, I said it. What did you think? What's your take on that thing, bro?
First, let me just give a shout out to Rick Ramos and Jessica McCaskill for a wonderful job last night. They stuck to their game plan and they executed perfectly. Well, near perfectly, I should say. And yeah, that's the first thing I want to say first. And second thing, I would say though, I have to admit, I was surprised. I was stunned. I was shocked. I didn't think Jessica would pull it off. I thought she would give her a tough fight. Meaning to Cecilia Braekhus in that respect, and I thought Cecilia Braekhus was going to be too crafty, too skillful. And you can see the weight disparity right there. I mean, Jesus Christ. You can see that Cecilia Braekhus was a much bigger fighter than there. But the one thing I did not expect was that the reach was when the advantage went to Jessica McCaskill, because Jessica definitely had long arms, but she did have longer arms than Cecilia. So she played that to her advantage. So I would say that those out there arguing, I'm seeing a lot of comments coming in that this was a robbery. They felt that Cecilia Braekhus won the fight based off the fact she boxed a little bit better in the later rounds. She started to find her timing and her rhythm, and she started to find her range a little bit. But the fact is, you have to take into account as well that Cecilia Braekhus was holding through the majority of the fight. She would not allow Jessica to. She tried to negate and neutralize Jessica from working in the inside, which to Jessica's credit, she kind of maybe expected that, given the fact that Cecilia was the bigger woman. She was going to try to wrap her up. She was going to lean on her, just like how Klitschko does, and how Fury fucking did that to Wilder. But what I will say this though is that Jessica was smart enough to understand that that was going to happen, and she didn't give Cecilia much chance to lean on her as much as she wanted to, because when I noticed when Cecilia tried to lean on her, Jessica was fighting that off. She was like really, really fighting her off, but trying to not allow her to lean on her, and that would kind of, to surprise, kind of stun Cecilia to her surprise. Because usually when you can lean on somebody, use after inch, they don't really have much. They're not going to really try to fight you off. They're going to just wait for the referee to break them. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I mean, Jessica didn't allow that to happen. She was able to slip her punches. She was hitting her with some uppercuts, digging her to the body, which you should do for a fighter that's mobile like Braekhus. And she was hitting her with some straight rights too, rights that Cecilia wasn't expecting. So was it a bit wild? Yes, it was, because Jessica is a wild fighter. She's a technical brawler. That's what I would classify her. But I would say though that technically Jessica is getting better each fight. She's getting better each fight. She is still a little bit off balance in some degree when she's placing her shots, but she's progressing. She's getting much better each fight, and she's doing it against top level competition, which is to my surprise, which is amazing me. You know what I mean? Mm. So this is a good story, man. A girl came from poverty, and she's in the position she's in right now in less than 10 pro fights, or a little bit over 10 pro fights. She's a unified lineal champion at 140. And now she's a lineal and undisputed champion at 147. So my shout out to her and to Rick Ramos. Terrific job on both of them, and it's interesting to see where they go from here, man. As far as I think what should happen next, they should keep an eye on that Katie Taylor fight against Person. I think whoever the winner of that fight, they should be fighting them next. I'm not sure if it's Person. I don't think she'll be able to make that weight climb, because I think that'd be a little bit too big for her to go to 140, even 147 by that matter. But Katie Taylor, yeah, that's the one they need to. I think that's what they're eyeballing. That's one they want to, they want to look at, because of course they're trying to get that rematch for so long now.
100%. And then my whole thing is this. Listen, anytime someone tries to say something about Joe Louis, you need to leave it alone. The Joe Louis curse is in effect. The Adonis Stevenson curse, but bro, ain't one worse than the Joe Louis curse. I'm telling you right now. A shout out to Low Place. Listen, Vladimir Klitschko going into the Tyson Fury fight, they said that if he beats Tyson Fury, he will eclipse Joe Louis's record of 25 championship title defenses, right? And like everyone knows, Vladimir was never undisputed, but they were trying to push that narrative, and he lost to Tyson Fury. Now they try to say that Cecilia Braekhus, she's going to be tied or surpass Joe Louis's record of 25 defenses and like beat Joe Louis's record. Like, you ain't a heavyweight. You first off, you fighting two minutes. Joe Louis has fought 3 minutes, and he done 15 rounds, and you're doing 10 rounds. So how the heck can you beat his record? Yeah, we know that you ain't got no Hall of Famers, but I think people are trying to clout chase and use that to push it to sell the fight. But shout out to Jessica McCaskill who went in there and as a lightweight who beat Katie Taylor, didn't get the decision, and then moved up to 140, unifies the belts there, and now she's the undisputed worldweight champion. A couple of fights I'd like to see. Clarissa shows she's willing to come down to 147. I'd love to see that fight. And also you've got Amanda Serrano who's there. Even though she's around the lightweight or featherweight division, if she could move up, that would be good. Katie Taylor, we'll see about that. But I think the huge American fight, would probably be the fight between her and Clarissa Shields, if that can happen. But she's got a lot of hard girls in that division who want to fight her. So it's interesting to see if she might go back down to the weight. And you know what I mean? She beat a Hall of Famer. I mean, if she can fight her comfortably, but see, the thing is to make the Clarissa Shields fight, and I don't know, the Katie Taylor, if you go look at more money, there's more money fighting in the Katie Taylor. So if she goes down to 140, Katie Taylor moves up to 140, that fight probably be easier for her to go at that weight. And Katie Taylor probably feel like, but Katie Taylor's not a big get at that weight, so I don't even like Katie Taylor moving up because I think she'll get hurt anyway. So either way it looks at it, the women, have we got a new star right now? I think, yeah, we have. And it's a shame what happened to Cecilia Braekhus, but every time she fighting, basically fighting in Norway. And like most American people, this was a big platform, a big stage for her, especially in the coronavirus against a girl who come to fight. She was supposed to win this fight. So now she been cherry picking girls and fighting in Denmark, and she had everything her own way. And this time it wasn't her own way. She came into America. Jessica's from America. Even she ain't from Oklahoma, but she beat her and upset her. And hey, listen, for women's boxing in America, I think she's from Chicago. For Chicago and all the things out there, she can be a beacon of hope for all the people in Chicago. So shout out to Jessica McCaskill. I caught it. I'm happy. And Joe Lewis's curse with 25 defenses is not there. I want someone legitimately to beat his record. If it was Anthony Joshua, but I don't know if he's got enough time in his hand. I don't think no one can ever beat it. Like 12 years of a champion, 25 defenses of undisputed. I don't think you could ever beat that record. That record is out of touch. And I think people need to understand that. There's certain things like they talk about Rocky Mountain's 50-0, but I tell you this, Rocky Mountain is like 50-0 against guys, and I'm gonna do a video on it about some of the guys he faced and Archie Moore, and tell you the circumstances how he got into the fight. Now I ain't gonna look. Archie beat Rocky beat him, but bottom line is this: 50-0 is not as impressive as if you got guys in there that you're supposed to beat. Guys in there that you're not supposed to beat is impressive, and that's why Cecilia Braekhus. That's why she lost against a girl she was supposed to beat, but she caught her the wrong day. She got a girl who's a champion in her own right, who was moving up, who was hungry, who wanted it, and she showed the grit and determination of a guy to make a new star in boxing. So shout out to Jessica McCaskill and us over here, especially the YouTuber, are really happy for her, and we're really interested to see what she does going forward.
Yeah. And the thing is too is that it's just interesting to see what she does from here at this point because part of me says that she may drop the titles at 147. I hope she doesn't. Maybe she just can make a couple of defenses there, then drop the titles. That would make more sense against the likes of maybe a Raquel Miller who's willing to come down to 150, come from 154 to 147 to fight her. That'd be an interesting fight to make. But I know Raquel Miller's been lobbying for the Shields fight for a long time now, but we'll see if that ever comes off. But we'll see. But other than that, if Shields was willing to come down to 147, man, I think you're right, though, man. I think that would probably be detrimental for Shields because she's already big as she is. She's coming all the way from 168, draining, coming down to 160, which is okay. That's acceptable. 154, I thought that was a bit too much for Clarissa, but she made that weight comfortably. So I was surprised about that. But I believe to say that 147 is a bit too much. I think if the fight happened at 154, I think I'll definitely favor Shields. No, I just think Jessica, Cecilia Braekhus, she beat her, but Braekhus was already old as it is. She was already on her way out from the looks of it. She's already hit to retirement in several interviews before the fight. So, Clarissa Shields is much younger. She's in her 20s. She's faster. She's stronger. And, as far as reach, I don't know. She has a longer reach than McCaskill because McCaskill got some long ass arms for her size. So, and I don't know. Maybe Jessica still may have a reach advantage over against Clarissa, but Clarissa will fight you. If Jessica wants her to fight her fight, Clarissa will gladly do it. She'll gladly fight your fight. So because Clarissa, for the most part, is a pressure fighter. So I just, if the fight happens at a higher weight, definitely favor Clarissa. If it's at 147, then I'll favor, McCaskill definitely has an advantage there. She definitely has an advantage.
Well, let me ask you a question. Like, so, how long have you been a fan of women's boxing, or is really what really got you in it? Was it the McCaskill fight versus the Taylor fight? Was that the one that kind of piqued your interest? Which fight?
Well, it was a good question. I mean, it goes all the way back to the Christy Martin days when she fought the likes of just Garrity and amongst others, whatnot. But that was a long time ago. That was in the mid '90s, the Tyson era. Then it fell off a little bit. I wasn't really wasn't really into it. I mean, I tried to get back into it the Layla Ali era with Ann Wolf, but as soon as they left, it just really, really died. So, it wasn't, there were like promoters and networks didn't want to take a chance on it on women's boxing because they didn't see any financial viability in it. But other than that, now, which, with the resurgences with the gold medalists and decorated amateurs like Felicia Shields and Katie Taylor. Then you have the other fighters like Alicia Napoleon. Then you have Severus. Then you have Hannah Gabriels, who's been fighting for a while, mainly in Costa Rica, who's finally starting to get recognition. Then you have Raquel Miller, who's getting recognition, even though she's been more of a loudmouth, but it is what it is. But you can't deny her skill. Then you have, Franchon Cruz, who was a very good amateur too in her career. Of course, she had history in the amateurs and know they fought in the pros in their first pro fight. And that was a very good fight, even though that was only 4 rounds.
Yeah.
But other than that, you have, of course, Braekhus has been around for a long time. And you had Erica Freitas, who's been around for a long time as well, who by the way, Cecilia beat early, in her mid stages of career. That's cool. And, Maiva Mamadouch, which is good. Ming Choi, who's over there in South Korea, is a champion. Other than that, I mean, I'm naming all going down the list of fighters. The reason I'm doing this is because I want you guys to see who's out there. You know what I'm saying? Then you have, Amanda Serrano, who's been around for a long, long time, 7-weight champion. And of course you have Natasha Jonas, who's kind of reemerges after, reemerged a little bit after the Terry Harper fight. Many people thought that she should have won it. It was a close fight either way. Terry Harper herself was good and all right. And you have Chantel Cameron, who's a very good fighter too, up and coming. So, and then you have Michaela Mayer over there with Top Rank. And then you have what's her other name? Who beat Shields in the amateurs? What's her name? She was with
Are you talking about? I know you're talking about. She with the Furies. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. She's taller than that. Yeah. Carissa Shields went down there actually and said, "Nah, you know what I mean. If you want to fight, I'll fight you. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no big thing. You know what I mean. You beat me in the amateurs because she was talking. They were kind of putting her name with Carissa Shields, but Carissa, she's raw with it. She went down there and told her, go straight, bro. I'll beat you again. And like ever since then, I haven't heard nothing peep of that girl. I can't remember. She was signed with Mayweather for a while, and that was it. I forgot her name now. She's a nice girl.
Yeah,
she's a nice girl though.
Yeah, she's a nice girl. I forgot that Shannon Courtney got upset too recently on Eddie Hearn card.
Yeah, but
Shannon Courtney was
overrated. She's overrated though. Like a lot of people thought she was overrated. She wasn't that good. She was fighting journey women. When she actually stepped up a competition, this is what I'm trying to say about certain women, like good competition when people are on their prime and not being drained or none of that, because everything was advantage for Cecilia Braekhus. But what she didn't understand is that this girl, she got the weight well. She perfectly came there. Even though she's still small, she was strong enough to give a dent, man. And Carissa, and she was like, you can see the Braekhus, oh shit, this girl's better than what I thought. It was too late, bro. The beating was in, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Every punch, you could hear them. She was so powerful. I was surprised, man. How she was dinging them in.
Yeah, she was able to carry that power up in that weight, too. That was surprising. And, like I said, Jessica got some huge hands for a woman. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Her hands is huge.
Yeah,
she got some huge hands.
Yeah.
But it's all good, though, man. It's all good, though. But needless to say, though, man, the thing is, I know we were talking about this a while back. It's like, not a while back, a lot too long ago, is that, look, The reason why all these women fights are happening because the talent pool is so thin. Yeah, that's true, but that's a good thing if you think about it because that don't give them no wiggle room to be ducking and jiving like they do in the men's division. And that's the reason why we get frustrated, why we don't get the fights we want to see because there's too much flexibility. There's a whole laundry of opponents they can cherry pick. Guys out of obscurity, guys will fight in regional fights for so many years, and then all of a sudden they want to call them up and say, hey, we want to offer you a fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Make it easy for them. It's like here in the women's division, you can't really do that.
No, sir.
You cannot really do that. I mean, yeah, they were able to get away with that with Seneda Estrada when she fought what's her name, Miranda Atkins, not too long ago, which what's ludicrous in my view. That fight should never happen.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, that woman who she fought was 42 years old, had children, who was coming off wins against women who were in their debuts themselves, who weren't even that good in Kansas. So it's like, why would they even sanction that type of fight? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Who the hell in their right mind would sanction that? I mean, I know that story's over, but still, though, man, fuck, man.
That was really bad. Yeah, that was really bad. Like she got thing. But you know the funny thing about it, especially you guys listening, I don't think maybe my audience, I don't think that many percentage of guys are interested in these women fighting because I'll be honest with you, like the videos and views of women fighting, and even though Cecilia Braekhus is like pound for pound the best. One of the best women. This is what I'm saying. She's like pound for pound one of the best women. That's who Jessica McCaskill beat. No one cares. Like no one cares because she was fighting in Denmark. Now, this is what I'm gonna say to you. A lot of the women, like Christy Martin, like Clarissa Shields, they need to establish themselves in America. But the thing is, they need marquee opponents, bro. You know what I mean? They need opponents that are worthy. You know what I'm saying? And because Clarissa Shields was doing that, that's the only way a woman could do. Now, Jessica McCaskill from Chicago, if she can kind of go there and help with, you know, the violence in Chicago, try to help, you know, calm that down, be a beacon of hope for young women over in Chicago and people, the violence in Chicago. I think she'll be a star because I think Chicago need a role model right now. So there's so many positive, and shout out to Cecilia Braekhus now, kept women's boxing relevant for many years. You know what I'm saying? Because in the day in Denmark they got banned, and she was like one of the first pros since Ingemar Johansson when I think it's Ingemar Johansson they got pros. So yo, what's up, Jalik?
No, that was in Sweden. You know, Sweden banned boxing because Ingemar Johansson's from Sweden.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. You're talking about Norway because Braekhus is from Norway, and Norway and Denmark are close to each other. So Norway banned boxing for many years.
Yeah.
Until they finally lifted the ban back in a few years ago when Braekhus had her hometown fight against Anne Sophia Mathis, who was at the end of her career and stopped her. So, you know, that was a moment that Cecilia wanted for such a long time to fight in front of her home crowd, and she finally got it, and they lifted the ban. So, that was just to let you down.
And you know the thing is, she ain't your typical Norway fighter. You know that? She's from Colombia. Right. She's Colombian. You know what I mean? She's Colombian. Like, how many people in Norway you see? They usually look blonde hair and blue eyes. She's actually Norway.
Yeah.
She's actually from Colombia, but people already know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, she's from Colombia, but her parents adopted her from Norway. So,
adopted her. Yeah. But that's what I'm trying to say about her. Like, she kept women's boxing relevant for many years, and this is what I'm trying to say to you. Like, you're always looking for the next star, like Clarissa Shields, someone to keep women's boxing out there like that. You know what I mean? And like I said to you, the women boxing. Look, man, I think men it's still managed by a lot of men. Men in general don't like seeing women get their ass whooped like that. You know what I mean? They get pranked. Especially what happened the other day. So we're keeping an eye on it. They ask them for 3 minutes. They want 12 rounds. But the majority of things is they want to keep it safe. They keep it there. But women, they're never going to hit the pay grade like the men. And that's what I'm saying. Even though it's a big win for McCaskill, I kind of fear if she don't do anything off the back of this, it'll just be something in the papers. So hopefully she can kind of build off the win and do something with it. I really do. We was gonna move on to the next topic. Was it Dillian White, or what was the question? What was the next one down? The next subject?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna talk about. Well, we can get to Dillian and Vivek in a moment, but the next big women's fight is the rematch: Katie Taylor versus Delphine Persoon.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
That rematch is next week. So to me, Persoon is going to fight the same fight, make some few adjustments here or there, but not smother her work like she did in the first fight. But I do think she's going to take Katie Taylor another beating. But what I will say is, though, she needs to get a knockout because she's not going to get the decision. if that fight goes to the card, especially it's in Katie Taylor's backyard, meaning in Eddie Hearn's backyard. That is literally. I'm just saying. I mean, obviously it's due to COVID. They have no choice. They got to improvise. But other than that, I just think that Person's got to go for the knockout. She can't let it go to the judges' scorecard. And I think that's exactly what she's training for, the knockout against Taylor. Taylor is not strong enough to withstand Person's pressure. She's not. She's going to have to outbox her and keep it safe and not allow let's take the fight to the cards. If the knockout happens, it happens. She's got to be patient and wait for it. But she's got to be active and get, pile the points on the board. So by moving, boxing and moving, dig into the body, throw your combinations, and, just to make sure that you make an impression so that way the judges show that you're active in the round. So that's my take on it. But I could definitely got if the fight goes to the cards, I got Taylor, unfortunately. If the fight does not go to the cards, if Person beats Taylor convincingly, then yeah, I just can't see how the judges can rob her. I do like last night though, because the judges did take a while to get those cards delivered for the Braekhus and the McCaskill fight. They were taking a bit of while. They were trying to me, in my view, I'm not trying to be conspiracy theorists. To me, they were trying to find some way somehow to give Braekhus the benefit of the doubt of trying to win that fight. Yeah. In my view, yeah, they were trying, yeah, but they just couldn't. They just couldn't because there's just no way you see that Cecilia won that fight. You give her at least 2 rounds at best, maybe 2 rounds. But other than that, she didn't win that fight. That's just my take on it. I just think that if the fights don't go to the cards, I mean, that's what, of course, Person's got to knock her out. 100%. If it goes to the cards, then Taylor wins the fight.
Yeah, I agree with you as well. But like I said to you, I'm sitting there after what happened in the first fight. I'm doubtful that she's gonna get anything. I think Katie Taylor's gonna come in and be put more lateral movement, more busier. I see Katie Taylor probably etching out a point soon. Even though I want Masoon to deck her, that was her chance, and she did it. I think she won the fight. But I think in the rematch with Katie Taylor, she's been a bit more active. Yeah, I don't really like Masoon's chances. They picked her because they know that girl probably ain't been doing nothing. Because remember, she's a woman, she's a mom. You know what I mean? She might
be a cop. Yeah, she's a cop too. So she's a police officer.
Yeah, she ain't been doing nothing. She ain't been training like that. And the case has been training. So that's what they do. Remember, they caught her at short notice. And she accepted it. Because remember, they wasn't even ready. So they gave her like 2 weeks or 3 weeks notice to fight. How's she going to get ready? Yeah, she's on the weight. But like, is she ready to fight?
That's the same shit they did to McCaskill. Because Rick Ramos and I talked about this briefly on my channel. He was saying they gave her a 5-week notice. And we thought it was 3 weeks. And I'm like, well, 5 weeks is still kind of short. But it is what it is. Yeah. And we were supposed to talk about that, but I didn't follow up. That's my bad. Yeah. But other than that, that's exactly what they did to McCaskill. Gave her 1 month to prepare, even though McCaskill actually I think she was in better shape than Person in this circumstance. Yeah. From the looks of it.
Yeah, because they don't want you upsetting their golden goose. And that's what I'm saying. And it's the same thing with Brad. That's why the scorecards took long, because like, yo, man, these scorecards real? Because the judges got a win. It's like, oh shit, man. Oh shit, they didn't want to do it, but you know what I mean? Only you have to be fair. But hey, listen, hopefully Dillian White going up against Povetkin on the main event of that card. Listen, there's so many factors into that fight. Mark Tibbs is no longer with Dillian White. Dillian White has a new trainer. Povetkin ain't saying nothing. Povetkin had a bad performance against Michael Hunter. He's got things to prove. Dillian White, the winner out of this, is gonna get a shot at the winner out of Fury and Wilder. There's so many things on the line, and I think Dillian, at this point, people are like, yo, Dillian should win this fight. This guy's old. But this is the time when the upsets happen.
You know what? I agree. Don't be surprised if Povetkin wins that fight. Yeah. If he wins that fight, then Dillian, oh boy. Yeah. Oh boy. A lot of people are going to be upset. I'm like, it is what it is. Povetkin was a better man if he wins that fight. Well, and to me, in my view, I still pick Wilder to beat if Wilder does get past Fury. I still expect Wilder to beat White either way. But I think it's more winnable fight for him to fight Povetkin, because Povetkin is down on his decline a little bit. He's older. He's been around the block for a while. And of course, we know how he is without that gear. But anyways, it's I think that's more of a winnable fight for Wilder than it is if he fought Dillian, in my view.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. But like I said to you, like at this point, this is the thing. Dillian's been doing some stuff. You know, a lot of people feel like the drug testing, we're still waiting for the B sample. And I ain't gonna lie, people think, well, boy, you know, and people looking for some sort of karma, some sort of retribution for for the tampering the gloves, and I know all kinds
of
stuff.
The Rivas fight, the Rivas fight,
all kinds of things that went on, right? All kind of things went on. So some people look something, but listen, in this boxing game, in this boxing game, the truth will come out. You know what I mean? Like boxing is one of them sports there. Like if you're supposed to win, you will win. If you're not supposed to win and you take your eye off the ball, you get knocked out. Lennox Lewis, Hassan Ratman. When you take the eye off the ball, when you're doing movies, is Dylan taking his eye off the ball? Is his training camp superb? I know Povetkin. Listen to the thing. Look at it. Povetkin has achieved everything Dylan hasn't done. He's been a gold medalist. Dylan hasn't done as an amateur. World Games, right? He's been a world champion. Dylan has done. He's at the fences of his belt. He's sold out arenas. He's done everything arcs of him, Povetkin. The only thing is, how much left of him. Dylan has got so much things to prove. Dylan is not a world champion yet, but he's beat every man claimed to him at the moment. So we're going to have to see. What's up, PMC? PMC, I got money on Povetkin. PMC hating lively. PMC is hating on the UK out here, ready to go. PMC is already hating already. So we're going to have to find out. But Dan, what's your official, if you can, your official prediction for that?
Dylan expected to win that fight because Povetkin is on the slide, so I expect him to overwhelm him with his strength and his they use his height. Definitely he has a way longer reach to Povetkin, so I expect him to keep him at bay with his left jab because Dylan's got a very good jab, despite his other deficiencies. But as far as Povetkin is concerned, he's going to have to take the fight to the inside. He's going to have to kind of he's going to have to bend his knees, don't give up any height, keep his chin tucked in. It'll make it difficult for Dillian to hit him. So, and that's the thing about Dillian, he doesn't have the greatest footwork in the world, and he's a bit slow amongst the two. But at the same time, he is a little bit fresher. He's a younger fighter in there, and he's expected to win the fight. It depends on the shape that Dillian comes in because he's known not to be that. He's not really that much of. He's not really a disciplined fighter out of when he's out of when he's not fighting. Yeah. So. We'll see. If he's in around the 240 range, I expect Dillian to win that fight. If he's around 250, 260s, which is too much weight for him, I don't. It's definitely going to be an interesting fight. So I expect Dillian to win it. But I won't be surprised if Povetkin wins the fight.
I tell you what,
I won't be surprised.
I tell you what, that Povetkin's got so much experience, man. He there's so many things other than his age you're looking on, but he trains like a savage, man. I remember I was looking at his training regime for AJ. And I don't gonna lie to you, bro. He busted AJ's nose. AJ kept him at range, kept jabbing him, and Povetkin was working so hard to get close to AJ. He got taken out. Now Dillian's gonna do the same thing.
Exactly.
You have to keep popping that jab on him when he gets close. Tie him up immediately. Do not try to fight with him inside. If you fight with him inside, you might find yourself on the canvas. So you know what I mean. That's what you kind of do with the old guy. You kind of wear him out, make him feel old. You know what I mean. Make the old guy know he's old in there. Can Dillian White do that? Is he going to get involved in things? Because Povetkin, for the first 3 rounds, he's going to be lethal, absolutely dangerous. So as the longer the fight goes on, if Dillian's in there, I think Dillian should do better. But like I said, the advanced experience of Povetkin, he used to get trained by Teddy Atlas, you know what I mean, of that peekaboo style. So he knows how to hit and turn around the guy. So it's going to be interesting to see how Dillian's going to deal with Povetkin's power. Povetkin, make no mistake, he's the hardest puncher he's faced. Dillian's face since Anthony Joshua, 100%. Like legitly can hurt you and take you out. Like I mean, that he can do that. Like he ain't no Joseph Parker, he ain't no one else like Dillian. No Lucas Brown, none of that. The dude, and another thing as well, he won't be intimidated. He doesn't speak English, so you can't even get in his head. You know what I'm saying? You can give him translation. You can give him translations, but it's not going to affect the Russians. They don't give a fuck, man, about that stuff. You know what I mean? He's got the Russian. Yeah. He got the Russian.
Well, the Russians are very difficult to intimidate. Those are difficult people to intimidate, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they it's like they thrive off fear.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how they are.
But they got the Russian. When he down with the Russian mob and stuff. You know what I mean? They don't want to backs his fights. So you know what I mean? So Dylan's got to jab some more, and keep him on the end of his stick, and then we're gonna have to see how that things. Other news. I think actually we covered Jose Lopez and Lomachenko. I think we covered that. What's the other news in boxing? I think there was some other news.
Yeah, there was people want to talk about robberies and and this, that, and the third. They thought Cecilia got robbed. I mean, that's beside the point. We already shot that down. I mean, I don't know what fight they were watching. But if you want to talk about robberies,
yeah, go ahead.
If you want to talk about
go ahead.
If you want to talk about robberies, there was a fight that happened on the PBC card last night.
Oh yeah.
On the undercard of Benavidez versus Angulu.
Yeah.
It was Romero. It was Rolly Romero versus what you call him?
The Martinez.
Manarez.
Yeah, Martinez.
Martinez. Yeah, Manarez. And I can tell you this: Manarez won that fight. No way in hell that Rolly won that. You could give him at least 1 round or 2 rounds at best, but he lost that fight.
Yeah,
he genuinely lost that fight. I just can't see how the hell they scored that fight. But 118-110 from Romero over Manarez. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's bad. Everyone's blaming Floyd for it because they say, "Oh, Floyd is because he's a Floyd fighter," and I mean he's down with Floyd. And I said, "Yo," I looked at the situation. I said to myself, "Yeah, he won." I thought the kid won the fight, right? But then I said to myself, what they've created is a villain because that kid he's not like he was humble with it either. He was rude. Like, yeah, I deserve it. And he started calling out names as well. And I was like, okay.
I'm like, yeah, I don't know, deserve what? That was a terrible performance by Raleigh.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Raleigh. I mean, look, he's an upcoming fighter. He's he was undefeated. He fought a guy who was undefeated himself too, who was a little bit more experienced because he had more fights. And this was not an easy fight. And this dude clearly lost against Manarez. Manarez controlled the entire fight. He controlled the tempo. He did what he wanted to do in that fight. And it was no signs in that fight that Romero gave him any trouble. No signs at all. This is things like that will fucking makes guys discouraged. Like Terrell Williams, for example. You guys in your backyard. Not Terrell Williams. What's his name? And you guys who had that short end of the stick against. He was in your backyard. EJ. What's the guy name? Williams.
Williams. Who's that? Williams who?
Well, he fought. It was a Southern regional title in you guys' backyard.
Yeah.
And you guys haven't saw him again after that decision that he lost to. What's his name?
Oh, are you talking about Lee Selby?
No, not Lee Selby. No. I'm talking about. It was a southern eastern regional title over there in your area. His last name was Williams. He was at 154, and he got robbed in that fight, and he didn't fight again after that.
I don't know who you're talking about, but go on, carry on. Anyway.
Yeah, but anyway, I'll look him up. But anyways, it's like one of those situations where you got a kid who's working so hard, and you clearly see he wanted to fight, and then he gets then he gets a decision like this happen to him. It's kind of like fucking Paul Williams, and I love Paul Williams, but he didn't deserve to win that fight.
He said Rocky Fielding. He said Rocky Fielding, right? Was it Rocky Fielding?
Not Rocky Fielding. It was what's his name? Let me look him up.
Liam Smith.
It was not Liam Smith. It was his last name was Williams. He's from the UK.
John Ryder, in it. Versus
not John Ryder. It was a UK fighter by the name of.
Yo, PMC knows the names, bro. PMC knows the names out here, bro.
He putting out the names now.
Yeah, he putting the names out, bro. PMC putting the names out for real.
There's a UK boxer robbery. Let me see.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look it up.
He disappeared.
It was Darryl Williams. Yeah, Darryl Williams.
Who? Darren Williams.
Darryl Williams. Darryl Williams got robbed against Zach Parker.
Who? I don't know who they go name. I don't know who they are. What?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It was for the vacant British. Super middleweight title. That's super middleweight. Yeah, it was happened 2 years ago. That's what happened.
I don't know.
It was for the British super middleweight title. It was a fight that Darryl Williams was clearly won that fight, and he got robbed on the cards against Zach Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly got robbed.
Okay. Well, I don't know about that, man.
Yeah, it was on the undercard of a World Boxing Super Series. I think it was on the undercard of Gross versus Eubank.
Yeah, well,
I think that was the fight.
Yeah, go on. I probably didn't care about that, but go on. Anyway.
Just to my point. It was to my point. It was you like fights like that. It was just kind of reminiscent of that, and hopefully Manarez picks himself back up and not let this discourage him for him to keep pushing forward, man. But like fights like that, especially a guy who's trying to work hard, who's up and coming. He's trying to make a name for himself. He got things like this dealt with him like this. Decisions like this dealt against him like that, man. Fuck all that, man. It wouldn't surprise me if he quits boxing after this, after a decision like that. You know what I mean? Well, I hope he doesn't, but I'm just saying.
He didn't look like the two of them didn't look that good. It was quite scrappy. They I think what was it? It was Adobe. Was it? It's I think Adobe.
It was for the interim lightweight title, the WBA lightweight title.
Nah, it was like
lightweight. Let me say this. Manera's definitely had some work to do, but he definitely was a better fighter in there. He was a better fighter.
Man, listen, let me tell you something. When I watched that fight, right, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I was looking the Mayweather guy. I was impressed with at the start, but he definitely got outpointed, right? But what I'm trying to say to you, when it came to the robbery, I don't know if the Martinez or whatever his name is, right?
Martinez, Jackson Martinez,
yeah. When I looked at the fight, right, and then and I was like, wow, I can see that was like he looked like he clearly won by like 5 rounds easy, right? And I was looking, I was like, but the bigger things of him, we're gonna complain today, but in the bigger schemes of him, let's see what they do tomorrow. Like a lot of guys, like what's his name again, James? What's the guy's name again? Emmanuel Augustus, right? A lot of guys like that, they use that as inspiration. You sometimes say to you, like a loss in your record, or like look at Jessica McCaskill, right? She lost against Katie Taylor. Did she sit on the laurels? Bruh, she bounced back and look at her now. So you gotta use these things as inspiration. We're gonna complain about it, but it makes us feel better. Like Jessica McCaskill, when she lost against Katie Taylor, right, and going through what she went through, and then going back to 140, winning the belts, and then going up to fight Cecilia Braekhus and beat her. That's what's up, bro. So you gotta use certain things in your life, whatever happens to you, and turn it into a positive if you work hard at it. Because no, you can't be denied. Like Jessica Callis couldn't be denied, and that young man who lost, he can be denied. Okay, the scorecards got it wrong, but it'll be more motivation for him. And for the guy who won, the pressure, the darts on your back. That's all it comes down to, bro. There's more pressure on your back. You know what I mean? So things balance out, Dan, is what I'm trying to say to you. Rob, even though the right guy didn't get the decision, you know, Marquez, remember Marquez against Pacquiao? 3 fights, right? He got a draw, then he lost, then he blatantly won the third one. No, there's no dispute in the third fight, right? And then look what he did in his 4th fight. The 4th fight was so satisfying for Marquez. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knocked Pacquiao out. You know what I'm saying? So, Dan, you know what I'm saying? It's, hey, listen, life, if you work hard at it and don't let it burn you, the young man, don't let it burn you, then this kid could go on to do something in boxing. You know what I'm saying? So let's find out what happens. But I hear what you're saying. It's a misguide of justice, or whatever the thing of justice, misguide of justice. And that guy, he definitely deserves. I saw Teddy Atlas on Twitter. I was like, yo, man, that's these judges. You know, Teddy Atlas on Twitter, you know, I could feel his heat coming off in Twitter.
I know, you know how Teddy Atlas be. He probably he probably went off a firestorm after that decision. Like, you know what? This is, you know, and Teddy Atlas has been saying this for many years. It's like, I would, if I had another route, if there's any other thing that I could do financially, I would let boxing a long time ago. But this is the only thing I know.
Well, he was.
I've been born and I breathe and I bled this sport for so many years, ever since my childhood. So where I'm gonna go, huh?
Yeah.
But what sickens me is that I gotta be subjected to this all goddamn time for the majority of my career. And to see fighters who are trying to work so hard, and then when they don't get, you know, the decisions that they rightfully deserve in their favor, they go back to their locker rooms. They feel more less than themselves after the tough fight they had, and now they psychologically fucked up after this. And it's criminal what's happening to them. You know?
Mentally, it messes your head up. You're 100% right about. I think it was a Shakir Stevenson I saw on my Twitter. It was because I saw it was like shocking. It was like a shocking. It goes, no. It was Devin Haney. I think it was Devin Haney. Yeah. I saw the shocking. It was him. I was like, yo, what's that? It was it was shocking. It was tweeting on. It was random on Twitter. I was like, yo, that was some real big, like, because everyone was watching the fight, right? And then he didn't get robbed. But hey, like I said to you, I've had my point in it, and hopefully the kid comes back. Let's talk about Benavidez. What do you think about Benavidez' performances? Apparently, you know, we was having a debate with one of the guys on the panel, and he was saying that he's the best 168-pounder in the world right now.
Until you beat Callum Smith. Until you beat Callum Smith, then you got that argument. But other than that, no. I mean, Benavidez just lost his title on the scales. He didn't even make the weight for the fight. He was 3 pounds over the weight limit.
Yeah.
So, and this is the second time he's lost his title. I mean, one, again, you know, the fact, okay, I could somewhat give him the benefit of the doubt, given the fact that he's too big at 168. So I'm not going to really too much fault him for that. He can't make the weight. That's just plain and simple. But the fact he lost his title the first time when he literally fucked up, he was on coke. So anyhow, but the thing is that, you know, for him to be number one, no, you got to do better than Anthony Durrell. I mean, Callum Smith, I'm not saying he's done much, but at the same time, at least he's beating better names than Benavidez.
at 168.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got to give him marks for that. So, you say until you beat Callum Smith, then you're the number one guy. And that goes for Caleb Plant. I'm not saying that Callum Smith is a better fighter than those guys, but he is the number one guy right now because he's being better opposition than them two.
How is that guy Callum Smith still a champion? I swear he ain't fought for like 2 years. It seemed like he don't want to fight nobody, bro. He
backed out of the Canelo fight and he backed out of the Saunders fight too. I mean, thanks to his fucking manager Joe Gallagher, they're trying to price themselves out here. They're mad at Eddie. Yeah, they're mad at Eddie because they feel that you should invest more time into Callum Smith there because he's, this, that, and the third. Look what he's done. Look what he's accomplished. And, he's undefeated. And Joe Gallagher is going out talking about we're not going to be short-sighted in negotiations. So I don't know. Obviously, it reflects on the fighter, but Joe Gallagher, in my view, is kind of making the wrong business decision. He's making the wrong decisions here for his fighter, for the most part. I mean, you should have taken the Saunders fight. It was a 50-50 fight down the middle. Why not? But they backed out.
You know why? You know why? Because the kid ain't good, right? He knows it as well. So they're trying to cash out because, you beat George Grove with one arm, and he ain't never fought competitive fighting a day of his life. You
beat a very small Osama Dam who didn't even have no business being in the ring against him. But other than that, go ahead.
he ain't never fought competitive. He's another one. You need see some of these frauds in boxing. They need to be toughed out. You know what I mean? Enough of them need to be toughed out. Like they need to fight competitive fights. You know what I mean? What you gonna do? You just gonna start still? And like when your career's over, ain't no one gonna remember you, bro. Ain't no one gonna remember you. You know what, Troy? What Brad Pitt in Troy said? That's why no one gonna remember your name. And it means something, bro. No one remembers your name of when you fight. There's certain guys. Every time you see Mike Tyson, I mean, you can mention to the casual. You know what I mean? Like, I remember him. Van Holyfield, you read it, bro? Yeah. What's up? Yeah, I remember him, whooping ass. What about Julian Jackson? Mike McCallum. Boy, you know what I'm saying? Nigel Ben, Eubank. Like, some of them, you know what I'm saying? They whoop ass, bro. Like, these dudes, these days, like, Jessica McCallum's name will be remembered. Like, anything she did after this is cool, but she whooped Cecilia Braekhus' ass, bro. That's what you're going to remember for. Krista Martin, Layla Ali. Like, you remember certain people's names. And you know, because they did something what was memorable in time of your life, or when it happened. That's what boxing really is. It etches time in the time of life. Now, Benavidez, going back to Benavidez, right? He's just a talented guy who just basically throwing it up the wall. He's just pasting his talent up the wall. You can't make 168 no more. Move up to 175, and let's get let's see if you go against Berta Beef. He's a unified champion. You might as well go down that route. Which I don't
you might as well. He might as well go up to 175 and fight Badu Jack if you want to make that fight. Go ahead.
Not Badu Jack, man. Not Badu Jack, man. Nah, I don't like that one. I like the Berta Beef one because Berta Beef.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, Berta. Jalit the leader just came in. You know what I'm saying? Jalit just popped his head. Yeah, I like the Berta Beef fight. I think at 175, you got more room for your weight. You know what I'm saying? I think I want to see that. But Benavidez needs to take his career more seriously. I want to hear him sniffing cocaine. I don't want to hear him no weight problems. I just need the guy to be disciplined and focused on what he knows to do because he's got potential. I'm not gonna lie, I like him. I like Benavidez. I think he's an exciting fighter. He's exciting for boxer, but he hasn't reached his potential. And 168 is dead right now. In my honest opinion, Caleb Plant don't look like he's in no hurry to do anything either. He's sitting on his pine. He don't really do anything because a lot of these guys, right? They win a title and it's like, everyone needs to come to me. Bro, you need to still be out here interviewing cats. You know, like Gary Russell, he's been a champion for a minute. And the reason why I criticize him is like, okay, you was a champion for a long time. And only now when you get desperate, you're talking to the media. Because I remember I tried to hit him up for an interview. He's like, we don't interview. I was like, okay, cool. So now all of a sudden you want to talk to everyone now? You know what I'm saying? When you was a champion, you didn't want to interview no one. So these dudes, even though they're champions, like Jessica McCaskill, you need to stay relevant and keep your name out. That's what Clarissa Shields does. If anything, what Chris Shields does, she keeps her name relevant. What's up, Janet Leader? What you have to say about the Benavidez, bro?
The man, the infamous Dan the Man, yo. What's up, bro?
What's up, dog? What's happening? So, I'm chilling, man. But, what you think about the Benavidez fight?
You know what? He looks solid, though. But like you said, discipline is very important for you to be the man. You might win once or twice, but discipline plays a part. But one thing I can say, I like to see a person's mental. If you notice, when he makes a mistake, he doesn't have an excuse for it. That shows a lot. Now, that shows that he at least understands that it was himself, that he didn't blame it. You know, some people, they don't make weight, they blame it on a trainer, they blame it on a conditioner. So I do respect the fact that he didn't make no excuses. He did say it was himself that caused the problem. But I think he got the style to be the best. I like the way he throw combinations. He can box better than he comes across. But he's going to have to work on his discipline, because I think Caleb Plant stay in the gym. He said he don't go up more than 15 pounds. He like bored, or he takes it serious. Now, certain things has to be revealed, but I like David Benavidez, but it's like after a while, man, you start missing weight like that. I'm like, I'll forget about you.
See, exactly. Dan, what's your take anyway?
I mean, I agree with Jalik's saying. I mean, he, first things first. Benavidez didn't make any excuses. He did take the full responsibility for why he didn't make the weight. That's cool. But other than that, man, I mean, to say that, this is, I mean, I know people have their opinions, but to say that he's number one right now, super middleweight, no, I'm not convinced yet. I mean, he hasn't really, he hasn't fought all the super middleweights yet until he fights Caleb Plant, until he fights Callum Smith. Even though I do favor him to beat Callum Smith for the most part. Now, Caleb Plant be a little bit different. That'll be more interesting fight, but other than that, until he beats those guys, and Billy Joe Saunders, I call Ho Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders, no. Let's forget about Billy Joe. Billy Joe is really relevant right now. He looks like he's done with boxing. But other than that, he shouldn't even be at one super middleweight. He's too small for that weight class. But anyhow, other than that, until he beats those guys, then I'm convinced that he's number one at super middleweight.
Yeah.
That's just my take on it. No disrespect to Benavidez. He's a good fighter. I'm high on him too, but he's got to show me something. I mean, Anthony Durrell was a good win. I give him props for that win, but other than that, you got to show me something more than just Anthony Durrell. You got to show me something better than that. But yeah, that's just my take on it. I just think he needs to be more disciplined. Got to stay off the coke. Be in the gym. You need to take this shit more seriously, man. Because now losing your title like this is the second time within 5 months that you lost your title. Come on, dude. Don't go out like Tank Davis now. Don't do that.
Tank Davis. Oh shit. What's up? Go ahead, G.
Now, since when you get money, it's like, okay, you achieve your goal. It's like, okay, now I don't gotta work as hard because you got the money. So you gotta be fighting for other things besides the money. Once you get a couple of dollars in your pocket, maybe his son. You heard this story. His son is gonna be born in like 2 weeks. So maybe that'll give him some extra incentive to work hard at, because he looked like he walk around at like, just off the eyeball test, he probably walk around at 200 or 210. I'm not even exaggerating. That's what I just think. Because I think he's taller than 6 foot too.
I agree. He ain't 6 foot. That dude's like 6'2", 6'3". He's tall. And he's huge, and I agree. He's around 195, maybe 200 out of the ring. So he's a big dude. He's a very huge guy.
Yeah, he ain't my height. I think he's taller than me, but because I think Caleb Smith about 6'3", right? So he probably was just a little shorter than Caleb Smith.
Caleb Smith is about Caleb Smith. Yeah, I think they're about the same height. If roughly about the same height.
Why are they lying like that? So. Yeah, it's up to him because, and the thing about it, I always wonder why they don't promote. See, Al Heyman is just their advisor. I guess they give you an opportunity, but you got to do something beyond your landscape to make yourself even bigger. So I always wonder why his promoter is the Fortuna promoter and Rosario promoter. I think the dude used to work with somebody else too, I forget. But it's like I think he can be like a star in a sense because he got the style. He got the fighting style for sure. And the story behind the Benavidez brothers, say what you want about Jose, he actually wanted to smoke with Crawford, and he lasted 12 rounds. And he hurt Crawford. I don't know if y'all remember, he hurt Crawford with a body shot. I mean, he done his best with an injury. So, I mean, you got to give him some credit. But we'll see with this Benavidez guy. But the way boxing is, like, when is he going to fight again?
Yeah, that's a good point, man. Well, he burst onto the scene and got that belt, and then he can't keep the belt. But this is what I'm gonna say to you: like, you need to go, and this is what people need to understand. There's only so far we're gonna see you beating up pancakes, bro. You know what I mean? When we gonna see you in a competitive fight against a live dog, man? I mean, Jarrell was good. He was making waves, man. I mean, that's why I thought Stevenson was pretty good. he was fighting good guys all the time. Like dudes need to be fighting some good names, and then we gonna start give you some props. But in the day, yeah, we had a long debate about Lomachenko and who he's fighting, but he's fighting Jose Lopez, and I'm like, yo, bro, even though I think he's gonna win the fight, it's not a guaranteed he's gonna win the fight, but at least he's taking a challenge. That's what it's about right now. You know what I mean? Guys taking the challenge. Like Porter, he's fighting some guy that we don't know about, but you know what I mean? Errol Spence is fighting Danny Garcia. You know what I'm saying? And some people think Danny Garcia gonna win that fight.
Yeah, especially it makes it even more convincing because first of all, a lot of people thought Danny had a slight chance even before the accident because the way Sean Porter got with him. They're like, okay, you know how people think, okay, Sean Porter, Danny has more power than Sean Porter, so if Sean Porter can do that good, then Danny can. And then the accident can, that'll just increase his chances. And you know that's the way the marketing is going to be. Then they're going to be talking about the accident. So their goal is to sell pay-per-view, so they got to make it seem like Danny's going to have a super high chance of winning. Kind of like how they used to do with Floyd. You know, they selling stuff. But, we'll see. But like you said, you watch boxing, EJ, right? Like nobody want to see like when Golden State was popping. Nobody want to see them fight to play against. We want to see them against Houston. We want to super high levels because if you already know who's gonna win, it's like there's so much other stuff that people can do nowadays.
Well, you know what though, and let's not forget though, PBC's got some pretty good cards coming up. You got Jamal Charlo versus Sergey Davichenko. Now that's a fight that Charlo could lose.
I don't know nothing about Davichenko. I don't know nothing about him. How's he gonna lose that? I don't know nothing about him.
Did you see him how he fought Golovkin? I thought he beat Golovkin. He gave Golovkin a fucking beating. I thought he gave him a worse beating than Canelo did. In my view.
Man, Golovkin's old. I don't think he's good. I think Golovkin ain't that good though.
Oh, I mean, look, I get that, but Golovkin is known for a guy who takes shots very well. It's like he's got a fucking steel chin, and then Davichenko really put it on him, where Golovkin was really probably more visibly hurt than he's ever been in his career in that fight.
Yeah, but we knew that was a hype because they were saying Golovkin was better than Marvin Hagler, so we already knew that they were blowing him up. He used to fight guys up from 154. So I don't rate, but that the Davichenko thing he should whoop his ass. But go ahead, Jalik, go ahead.
All right.
If Homeboy was a boxer, if he was a basketball player, Davichenko would be like Nurkic. He ain't like
yeah. See, told you.
He's solid. He ain't like the Jokic guy, the Joker from Denver Nuggets. That dude is like super next level. He like Jokic, solid.
Yeah, Jokic. Yeah.
But Davichenko early in the fights, he always get dropped. And against Charlo, I think the same thing is going to happen. It's like he get momentum after he get dropped. That's the thing. So, but he does go to the body, and I want to see somebody go to Charlo's body. If you look at the highlights of the Triple G fight, the referee saved him. He looked like he was about to drop Triple G to the body, but
or probably could have knocked him out because Golovkin was badly hurt, and Golovkin was lucky that round ended it was closing in. If that round was at the beginning, I don't think Golovkin could have survived that round. I'm just being honest. I don't think he could have.
Because if you look at the Charlo Korobov fight, Korobov hurt Charlo. That was my first time see Charlo got a little stun. Now focus on the body. Homeboy do got that the counter punch, like uppercuts and different things like that. But I mean, we'll see with that one. It's an interesting fight, but his brother fight is the one that's really interesting because
Jason Rosario, he's longer. I think he's taller than Jamel, so he's longer too. So that's gonna be an interesting fight for Jamel.
Let me put this to you, right? I like Jonathan Banks, and he's my guy because I talked to him, but. Jonathan Banks, he trains Golovkin and he trained Cecilia Braekhus, right? But bro, like I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. There's a lot of pressure on my man Jonathan Banks because he just lost Cecilia Braekhus, and now he's got Golovkin's not fighting Davichenko's right.
Well, actually Banks didn't train Cecilia Braekhus for the McCaskill fight last night. It was Abel Sanchez who trained her.
Oh, that's why she got ass whipped. That's why she got ass whipped. Because that's why she got.
She dumped Banks for Sanchez. So
that was dumb. That was dumb.
I don't know why she did that, but yeah, I was kind of shocked. I was kind of puzzled why she did that, but okay, it is what it is.
Well, apparently I heard she used to go out. They were dating. So yeah, like, and you know what I mean. And listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. This is what I'm saying to say to you. These sort of things catch up with you. You know, you can't be swapping trainers. Abel Sanchez's whole thing, was like he used to call Terry Norris, right? Everyone knows Terry Norris when he got with Abel Sanchez, was getting his ass kicked, right?
Yeah, same thing with Rafael Marquez when he was Abel Sanchez. Because I'm just keeping it real, man. I'm not sure, Rafael Marquez would be blind in one eye if it weren't for Sanchez, man. I mean, being real, it's like, with Abel Sanchez, every one of his fighters end up fucking impaired at the end. I mean, impaired, like they have some permanent injuries at the end of their careers. Yeah. I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah. He's the same one that said black fighters don't sell.
Yeah, he was the one who had Terry Norris. Okay. Wow, but go ahead.
Yeah, crazy. Go ahead, Jalik.
It's crazy because it's like he used to talk all that shit about the Triple G, and then Triple G left him, and then now he's saying stuff about Triple G. That's why sometimes the trainers, some of them be talking a little too much. Like sometimes you gotta just chill a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. They be out here talking out of pocket and trying to go on like they want all celebrity, but real talk, the Triple G was doing his thing on the scene. But the thing is, I think a lot of this, I think this is the thing, right? And I was thinking about earlier on today, why America is struggling is because America at some point chose to embrace the Europeans, and in his heart, even though America might have all the race problems and the Paulie problems and all whatever, at their heart they still support Americans. And when the network of HBO tried to embrace other European fighters, which is okay, a few of them, but when you're trying to make all the European fighters as they're your main guys and neglect the other fighters, it was going to be a problem. That's why the network is no more. Like Al Heyman has cultivated a lot of young. He's cultivated a lot of other guys from different nations, but mainly the fighters are America. If you look at Eddie Hearn, he got other fighters from different nations, but bro, the main core, they're from Europe. They're from over here. Like you can't disregard your fan base like that. You just can't do that. And I think that's what the main problem with boxing in general. People like culture things against different cultures, like USA versus America. So that's what it was built on. But end of the day, when you got Abel Sanchez and some other people like that, they be clowning, bro. They clown too much. Sometimes they just talk too much. Some of these trainers not. It's the fighter who fights in the ring. I mean, you just train them. But in the day, the fight is still going to be the fighter at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So we're going to find out about the Charlo. And the Charlo's another one. Didn't Danny Jacobs walk up on one of them and talk and they acted scared as well? I remember that happened.
Yeah. That was was that the undercard of Wilder versus Ortiz? Yeah, it was on the undercard of Wilder. No, it was on the Wilder versus Ortiz, the first fight. Yeah. That was at that.
It was there. Because I actually was at the fight, but of course I was in the stands. But I was actually at the fight. I was like, shit.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, that shit was funny as hell.
Yeah, it's funny though. Because that was a fight that we wanted to see for a while. When Wilder beats him, then Ortiz ain't shit. All right, I see how that is. I see how that is. But that's a long time ago. But it is what it is.
But the funny thing about the Charlos, right? The Charlos are like most Americans. They love talking. They love talking the ish or out there. You know what I mean? The Americans can relate to these guys talking shit. It's like, I don't like him. He talks too much. But that's what people like. You know what I mean? That's what people like about certain guys. They're like Adrian Broner, bro. He was one of the best characters ever. The Can Man. I don't care what anyone says to me. Broner. If Adrian Broner come to the UK, people love Adrian Broner, bro. The Can Man. Anyone can get it. Americans, Africans. This shit was good, bro. But as it stands here, like America hates people, but they like it. They hated Ali for years. You know what I mean? Roy Jones never got Roy Jones. They like Roy Jones. It's like they want you to be quiet, but listen, really, in secret, they admire people who run their mouth. They do. Like that's what I think. You know what I'm saying? But end of the day, they need some villains. Like this kid who got the decision the other day. I think they can use that. They can use that, man. You can use.
Yep.
You can use. Bro. Go ahead.
Oh, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, now people gonna be mad at him. But let me ask you this: do you think if you got a belt, you're a world champion, that's not a U.S. champion? Do you think it's a good idea for not just Americans, but just people outside of the UK to start fighting in the UK since they the first one to have fans back? Because we know y'all do have some diehard fans that even if you're from another country, they're supportive.
Nah. You don't worry like that. This is what I'm saying. Like, see, they talk about the UK fans, right? Everyone knows the Mexican fans of England. What it is that a fan will follow you if you beat up their guy. Say like you beat up one of their fighters, right? You know what I mean? Like, you go to their town and you beat their fight. That's how people gain fans. Like, yo, that guy's good, you know. Like when Mayweather beat Ricky Hatton, he took the UK fan base straight. Like, you know what I'm saying? When he beat Manny Pacquiao, he got the Philadelphia fan base. So that's how things are. You don't have to come to the UK to get the fan base. You know, they try and talk about our UK fans, this, that, the other. It's like, the amateur scene over here is pretty big. And we have truckloads of people who go out to support the people in the amateurs, right? So all it is this translates into money when they turn professional. So that's how that is. It's usually that. And then another thing when people don't understand about Eddie Hearn's father owned Leyton Orient. Leyton Orient is a football club in East London, right? So he used to own that. And what he used to do with the people who support the football games, he give them the tickets. So then they talk about the UK fan base, but Matchroom's got a built-in fan base who they sell tickets to. So it's not as easy as what they try and make out. You know what I mean? They tell you one thing, but it ain't how it is. Because Devin Haney came over here, and Devin Haney ain't people trying to break Devin Haney, or we need to see Devin Haney. It's what you do in America what matters. You understand what I'm saying to you? You do well in America because America still has the world media, the media capital of the world, New York. Like how if you're big in New York, you're big across the world, right? If you're big in England and London, you're right. Yeah, we know who you are, but you have to be big in America. America still is the proving ground for where the champions is made. Like, you gotta remember, like, for years, you guys will hold the monopoly on things. So, like, they will tell you it's all about over here in the UK, Europe, we have the best fan base. Yeah, numbers, but in the day, the TV networks like Showtime and the PVC, they still get a little coverage. The world, our sport has changed. Let's be honest, but our sport is not the number one sport no more. So, like, with Eddie Hearn coming into it, and them guys coming into it, yeah, it changes the equation. But end of the day, if you still got a Deontay Wilder who's making up name, even though he ain't getting that attention, you still, even Andy Joshua, he's still not that famous, even though, a lot of people know who he is. These guys are still great. Even Tyson Fury, he ain't as famous as what you'd think he should be. So these guys need to do some work and to get themselves to get the mainstream audience coming back to us. You know what I mean? I don't know how they're going to do that, really and truly, when you got football and basketball, like over there, like, you know what I mean? And baseball. Right.
If the in the UK, then travel to UK is up 5 hours from New York or on a flight or 6 hours. Also, too, didn't Lomachenko and Luke Campbell sell pretty good?
It wasn't that one Luke Campbell. That one that it was okay. It wasn't a massive sell. It was okay. It was like that's what I'm saying. And another thing as well, Lomachenko ain't got no bloody fans, man. That guy ain't got no fucking fans. Like, real talk, he's got fans all over, but he hasn't got no like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you haven't seen no big man.
Yeah, I was surprised that fight was pay-per-view in y'all shorts, man, because Lomachenko's not even a name. I mean, he's a name, but he's not a big draw.
Nah, he's not a big draw, man. He ain't remember, he's a little guy. Remember little weights, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what time with the G-League, they tell you something on TV, ain't it? The heavyweight division is still the crown jewel of boxing. That's where the most money comes in. That's where the big money was coming with Joshua, and then and Ruiz had it. Ruiz had it right there, and he let that shit go, that idiot, right? Deontay Wilder had it, and he let that go. Like, he was garnering that attention, let the world watch. But still, these guys need to maintain that. Like Mayweather, this is the thing about Mayweather, right? Global star, he beat people. He didn't have to go to other countries. He had the best fighters from around the world come to Vegas. Ricky Hatton from England. Manny Pacquiao's from the Philippines. Marcus Madonna from Argentina. You know what I'm going to say to you, bro? This guy from Mexico. So they brought all their big fan bases. Mayweather looks at the numbers and people say, oh, he cherry picked. No, what he looked at is how much money can you bring in? How much fan base can you bring in? And that translates into money. So these guys need to think about a business and think about who's got the biggest fan base out here. Like, that's why Canelo's doing very well. But Canelo's only big in a certain region. In England, Canelo's not that big in England. He's big in he sells it. How big is he if he was in New York or whatever? I don't know how many Mexicans are going to travel to New York. It's Vegas, whatever. I'm not too sure. You know what I mean? He ain't like Oscar De La Hoya. And Oscar De La Hoya wasn't big in England either. You know what I'm saying? So, they're big in certain areas, but we're talking about our sport as a world sport. And see what Jessica McCaskill done. She done right. She fought in England. She's in America. That's what you got to do. Like, these stars have to do what the old timers do, go to different countries and fight other people in their countries. Lomachenko did that, right? but I don't think his fan base is that big yet. You know what I mean? I don't think so. I don't really see like massive or Triple G. Triple G, you know Triple G with Abel Sanchez, right? That's why he tried to market with the Mexican fan base because the Mexican have a big fan base. But the moment he left Abel Sanchez, shit, they ain't talking about no Mexican style no more, man. They stopped that bullshit right there. That stopped with Abel Sanchez, right? So I'm just saying. So don't get caught up with the UK fan base. You know what I'm saying? The Mexican, like, it looks good on TV and this and that. And I give it to you, granted. But really and truly, it comes down to your fight style. If you're fighting like a Mike Tyson, knocking cats out left, right, and center, you don't think me or you could watch that. I become a fan of that guy straight away. That's how things are. It's what you did in the ring, right? It ain't just like you have a fan base. It's what you did in the ring to cause people to follow you. You know what I mean? And I ain't no flag waver either. That's why when I watch boxing, Jalik, I ain't a flag waver. I just tell you what you did in the ring. I was like, yo, that's my dude. Like Terrence Budd. Terrence Budd came to England, right? Came to Scotland and beat Ricky Burns. He's been over here. He's been there. Beat Amir Khan. He's got Indian fans. He's doing all the right things. The only thing he ain't captured the imagination of the media because he don't talk and he likes to do fishing. That's the only thing that's really down on him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Go ahead.
Right. Got to have a plan about their personality. A lot of times they be like, the media is this way, but that's part of the job as the media. Just because the media be like certain members be faking their switch stuff, but that's part of the game. You got to learn to master the media and just understand how to use the media to your advantage to increase your profile. So that way, be in a situation where, because once certain fighters is in a great position already. Tank Davis, everybody want to fight him.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? He's the A side. I mean, that's just the way everybody want to fight him already. So he's in a good position. So that's why fighters like Shakur, I was like, bro, they better be working on their marketing plan. See, a lot of times they get caught up in the illusion that you either quiet or you act like Mayweather. They don't understand the gray area where you're just being yourself and you still attract people and fans by being yourself. You don't have to act like Mayweather. Mayweather is a once in a lifetime unique person. So you can learn from Mayweather, but you still got to tap into your own personality because Shakur Stevenson is a southpaw. People already ain't gonna really want to fight him. He got great defense, so he's already in this situation. So unless he can make himself into a number one guy in the sense like Tank, then he's going. It indirectly affects your legacy. So right now, if you plan on having a super duper high legacy, you almost gotta be a number one A side. If not, then look at Andrade, look at Crawford. That's just the way it's gonna work. And it's sad to say, but in today's boxing, if you're not like A side, your legacy won't be the same.
Yeah, 100%, boy. Well, we're gonna see with the Charlos against Derevchenko. So Dan, who you saying? You picking Derevchenko? That's all to do.
Nah. I'm picking Charlo to win it, but I'm just saying he could lose it though. It's a 50-50 fight. That's what I'm just saying. Yeah. But I'm a favorite Charlo to win it.
Decision?
Decision, yeah. I don't think he's gonna stop him, but it's definitely gonna be a decision.
He'll be dropping him for sure early. Between like 1 and 4, he'll drop him, but then it'll be a tough decision. Derevchenko gonna try to outwork him. Hopefully, Rozier go to the body. If he goes to the body, because Charlo's got good stamina, so and they stand their ground, but we'll see what range he fight at.
What do you think about Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell? What do you think will happen in that fight?
I got Ryan.
Yeah, I do as well. Go ahead.
He out then. I said he's going to take over Cinco de Mayo. It's going to happen faster than I think it is. But I see a tough fight decision, which is probably good for him. So he understands he can't knock everybody else out and give him the confidence to go 12 rounds. But if you do knock him out, bro, Canelo gonna have to give up them Cinco de Mayo dates. Trust me.
Is Ryan Garcia still with Oscar De La Hoya?
Yeah, but they going back and forth. Oscar De La Hoya, man.
Oh, that's like Bob Arum and De La Hoya. They used to have beef like that, but they used to work it out though, innit? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he might get his ass whipped by Campbell because he might take his eye off the ball. You know what I'm saying? Some people saying, well, Campbell's Olympic champion, but Campbell's confidence is shot to bits, man. You know what I mean? Every time he's in a fight, he thinks he's gonna lose before he even starts. I don't think he's a very confident person. Even if you have achieved all that stuff, you keep losing every time you go out there. like Linares, and you know what I'm saying, like Lomachenko. You know, I don't even know how he's even getting that many shots, man. Like Devin Haney should have got some of these shots already, right?
Well, you know how that works, bro. He's too good to get a shot because they don't think they're gonna win.
But that's
Campbell was
good.
Campbell was like the gatekeeper. He's not a journeyman yet. He's like the gatekeeper. You beat him, okay, hey, this is a good measuring stick.
Well, see the thing about Haney's dad, I think he signed with the wrong guy. I think they should have went Al Heyman, bro, because end of the day, yeah, it's like you're with Eddie Hearn, who's your promoter, and he can't get you them fights. It don't make no sense, bro. You know what I mean? I think people try to outsmart themselves when it comes to this boxing thing. It ain't that hard. If this promoter can't get me that fight, I'm gonna go to a promoter who can get me that fight. That's how it works. I remember Tim Bradley, right? They wanted him to fight. Golden Boy wanted to fight Amir Khan. He was with Gary Shaw. Gary Shaw wanted that fight. Tim Bradley said, "Hell no, I don't want to fight him. I want to fight Pacquiao." So he left Gary Shaw and went straight to Bob Arum and just got the Pacquiao fight. So this is what people need to do if you want to make that fight. Change the promoter and to get line yourself with the promoter to get you the fights you need to. Eddie can't do nothing for you. Like how's Eddie getting his boy Luke Campbell all the shots and he ain't doing nothing for Haney? And Haney sitting there complaining on Twitter, I'll beat all the white boys. Well, Haney said that. And then Haney said something, and then Paulie Malignaggi reacted to that, saying the Europeans are new species. The age of the black fight is over. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. And then Paulie lost his job talking greasy. So, in my opinion, this is what it is. It's like dudes need to fight the fights and let everything else walk the walk. You know what I mean? Don't be out here making excuses about you ain't getting it, this, that, the other. Do what you need to do to get the fights, and let's keep it moving because right now, in this pandemic, we don't know we're going to get a second wave and the whole world going to shut down again. You know what I'm saying? So I know in America it's pretty bad. Where you at, Jalik? The coronavirus is pretty bad where you at? Over where you is?
Oh, you don't want my thoughts on that, bro. It'll be a whole nother lie.
All right, forget it. Yeah. All right, we leave that alone. All right, Luke Campbell and Ryan Garcia. Dan, what's your comments on that, Dan?
It's an even fight. But Luke Campbell, if you want to go with him, he's got the experience. He's been there with Lomachenko. He's been there with Mendy. He's been in there with Linares. So, if you want to go the experience route, maybe go with him, even though he didn't win those fights. But Garcia, on the other hand, is a hungrier fighter from the looks of it. He's unscathed. He's looked sharp, whatnot in most of his victories. So he's expected to win the fight on paper. So I'm going to slightly favor Garcia based off you, and based off that he's more he seems to be more hungrier than Campbell at this point.
And word on the streets is if you win that fight, him and Tank Davis will be next, and don't be surprised if it's Cinco de Mayo.
That'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight. Well, it's funny though because you guys, speaking of WBC lightweight title, you guys heard that the Top Rank put in a request. Should Teofimo Lopez beat Lomachenko, make him franchise champion? They honored that request, which is bullshit.
Yeah, they do. I see certain things like that, bro. It really disgusts me. Not only does it disgust me, the fact that the fighters don't speak about it, they act like they inferior to the dumb. They need to really speak on this. Like they act like they scared of them. But we also know things happen. We also know that relationships with the promoters and the sanctioning organizations goes on behind the scenes. So they probably, they probably got NDA agreements because you notice they don't really speak on it too much. But they probably got NDA agreements because certain people, you be like, how did they get up there? Like certain people, as soon as they sign with a certain manager or a promoter, then their rankings will go sky high up there.
Yeah, 100%. Well, hey, in other news, Gary Russell Jr. has sent a contract to Terence Crawford for him to sign to make the fight. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, man, come on, dude. Are you serious? Are we actually talking about the idea of that fight even coming off?
Yeah, he feels he's actually dead ass. He said he's got a contract over there. He's sending it over to Crawford. He wants Crawford to sign that shit.
Wait, hold on. Gary Russell is a featherweight, and he's going up to fucking welterweight to fight this guy. What in the hell?
Yeah. Hey, listen. Yeah, you know them guys there. You can put on that weight. Whether you're strong at that weight is another thing, but you can.
So wait. So you're jumping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weight classes to fight this guy?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think the last time we haven't seen the last time this ever happened was probably around the 1906 when the Demon Barbados Wilcott did that against the heavyweight. when he was fighting that welterweight. So I mean, god damn, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, you think Crawford gonna sign that? If I was Crawford, I'd sign that shit quick.
It looks bad. The dynamics look bad. If Crawford signs that fucking fight, that looks horrible. It's like, okay, you picking out a small dude.
Yeah, I know.
But
he be talking shit.
That looks bad.
Yeah, but he talking shit. He needs a spanking. You know, that's the way you go looking at it. And like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Would you watch it? I'm gonna watch that shit.
I'll watch it, but it'd be interesting. It'd be entertaining, probably. But nah, dude, what the fuck, man? Seriously, this is gonna look like. I know some people are gonna bring this up. This is going to look like Gamble all again. The only difference is Gamble and Crawford was still even at the weight a little bit. At least there was some bit of I mean, look, they both made 135, but yeah, obviously Crawford looked a lot bigger in there because he rehydrated a lot more than Gamboa did. But still, though, I mean, okay, if the fight's made, what's going to happen at welterweight? Is going to happen at freaking 140.
I think he capping because check this out. First of all, I can name 2 featherweights that can probably beat him. Kid Gallagher and Shakur. Now I know Shakur just moved to 130, so I don't think Warrington to beat him. So let alone him. Now, if he moved to 130, can he beat Miguel Burchett? That'd be a tough fight. Yeah. Why won't he for that and try to go at that route? People don't realize that he's not signed exclusively to Al Heyman, but for some reason he still don't get fights. Like he just talking, bro. I don't see him beating Devin Haney. I don't see him beating Lomachenko. I see so many people like focus on your weight class, bro. That's like, but I gotta respect the guy's courage though if he's serious because that's like I would feel like he bullied him.
Yeah, what's up? Like, yeah, I agree with you. What's up, PMC? PMC from Chicago.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Yo, man, congratulations to your girl, Jessica McCaskill from Chicago, winning the
Yeah, I didn't even know she was from Chi-Town shit.
Yeah, that's some good news for you, man, over there. You need some good news.
I think she originally from St. Louis, but she was raised in Chicago.
We trained her up in here. She trained in Chicago, so.
I know, that's what I'm saying, though. She's originally from St. Louis. Yeah, I hear you. That's what I'm saying.
That's who she ripped.
All right.
She training. You train. Wherever you train at, man.
She ripped.
I hear you.
Yeah, she ripped. Hey, he's holding on to that because they ain't got that many champions over there. Michael Jordan left years ago.
Nathaniel Gilmore had beat that boy who beat that Rosado guy, man. What's that guy's name from the Dominican? Who got that upset?
Huh? Which guy you talking about? You talking about from Chicago?
He
beat Julian Jake Rod Williams, that guy who beat Julian.
Rosario.
Yeah, Nathaniel Gilmore got him, and then he didn't do shit after that, man. He lost his next fight after that.
Okay.
Yeah, true.
Hey, don't he fight now? Fight the 6'7" guy.
Huh? Nathaniel supposed to be like a Jamaican descent guy, he's from Chicago.
Hey, let me ask you a question because I know Jalik and PMC. What do you think of the decision of the guy Martinez losing to that guy Romero? Whatever? You watched the fight? A decision?
No, I ain't watched the fight yet, man.
Oh, you ain't watched that? Jalik, you watched that fight yet?
Nah.
I wasn't paying attention, but I heard it was like 100% people said Riley really lost. But like you said earlier, they could turn him into a villain.
Yeah.
Because you see his facial expressions when they was interviewing him, bro.
Yeah.
That's like see boxing is like TV. Characters. They probably do that. Because Floyd is smart though. Floyd is smart, bro.
100%. I'm telling you, man. You can turn that guy looks like a natural villain, bro. Someone you dislike. You know what I mean? Because he had no remorse for the judge's decision and stuff. He was embracing that. I was like, yo, bro, you winding up cats already. And he's already got the Philly show going on. And I see people like anything to do with Floyd, people are bashing him, bro. Like they dragging him on Twitter, bro, because he's related to Floyd and Floyd had to. I was like, yo, what you talking about? Like there is some real hardcore hate for my man Floyd Mayweather. I don't know where it's they still ain't the Pactars. I don't know where they at. They still hating on the decision from Floyd beating him, and there's some hardcore hate for Floyd. But that's money. That's the way Floyd looks. That's green. We can make some money from that shit. Yo, what's up, Smoke, man? You back again after that work, Smoke? Have we got Tommy Temper as well?
Tommy, what's up, bro?
Yes, I was just hold up. I was just talking to Tommy. We were having a little tete-a-tete. What worked? Man, easy. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell both of you guys. You and your Simon Brown petition. My man had more red on his box rack. I was like, really? This is what we're gonna do?
Simon. What do you mean more red? We mean more red. We mean more losses. What are you talking about?
Yeah, all that red at the end of my man's career. I was like,
exactly. That happens. But many great fighters have a lot of reds at the end of their career. Even Ezra Charles, who I feel is the greatest, has a better resume than everybody in boxing history, in my view, which is arguably does. He had a lot of losses at the end of his career, but that doesn't dismiss the fact that he's beat a lot of Hall of Famers. He beat guys that nobody wanted to fight, like Charlie Burley, for example. Okay, so he beat those guys. Like
Simon Brown, you know Charlie Burley, get out of here.
I'm not comparing Simon Brown to Charlie Burley. I'm saying what you're saying. Well, hold up.
Simon Brown. We talking about you and Charlie Burley, man. Come on, bro.
Hold up. Let's bring it back. So the question was, so Lomachenko shouldn't go into the International Boxing Hall of Fame because they recognize his amateur credentials. That's what Smoke was saying, right? So then Dan came up with, do you think Simon Brown should get in the Hall of Fame? And Smoke then answered, he mentioned a fight, then Simon Brown got knocked out and he was punching in the air. But that was at the end of his career. But the body of work, what Simon Brown did, he should be in the Hall of Fame. So, Smoke don't think that Lomachenko right now shouldn't get in the Hall of Fame. That's what we're discussing. Just letting everyone know.
No. Okay, here's really what I'm saying. I wasn't saying that Loma shouldn't get in the Hall of Fame. I was just saying that they should have they should separate your amateur and your pro. Like they should have a wing within the Hall of Fame where they celebrate the amateurs, right? And where Loma would be more like he's more of a standout as an amateur than he is as a pro. He's had a good pro career, but it doesn't stand out amongst the other pros, right? I mean, he's had some cool accolades, but fastest to a championship. I mean, yeah, that's cool, but it's also an era where there's a gazillion belts and a ton of sanctioning bodies. So it's not like the same playing field. Like, yeah, sure, you got a belt fast, but there's more belts to get.
Anyone want to say anything? Nope.
What's cracking, guys?
What's going on, Tommy? What's happening?
I don't listen to old man Smoke. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
What happened to your phone? How come now you can talk? What the hell?
Anyway, so that's what they were talking about earlier on, and we was getting into it backwards and forwards. So I was cracking a little joke with Smoke. But look,
that's the word. Get back that Simon Brown work. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna get my way back.
Simon Brown.
What about Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, right?
Yeah, what about him?
Yeah, he should be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, he should. No argument there.
Right, but I'm just saying, but he's not. That's my point.
He's in some Hall of Fames. He's in the.
But we're talking about the International Boxing Hall of Fame, so that's what I'm saying. Like, there are guys who have done more professionally than Loma and are not in the Hall of Fame. That's my entire point about Loma and his professional accomplishments being Hall of Fame worthy.
So you're talking about consistent standards, really, then, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's all. Like Loma's a Hall of Famer, but he's a Hall of Famer because of his amateur thing being part of the criteria.
No, I don't really see that. I agree with you. It should be separated at the very least.
I can't. It's not just because of amateur. I mean, he is sometimes moving up in weight. He is overrated. Like, certain people get credit for it, but I think that when it's all said and done, he would definitely be a Hall of Famer because he beat some good competition, bro. Like, especially if he beat Teofimo.
Mm-hmm.
It's all said and done, bro. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. Now, Mikey Garcia, he probably make it. But
right, and that now you're mentioning the other guys, right? So part of this was if they never fought again, right? Because you can't project future wins. The Teofimo fight hasn't happened, right? So we're just saying, like, right now, if he never boxed another round, should he get in strictly based on his professional accomplishments? I'm like, I don't think he's going to get in strictly based on his professional accomplishments. I know he will get in because they're not going to just weigh strictly his professional. They're going to throw his amateur. But should he get in if you just consider his professional accomplishments? And I'm like, there's too many guys. There's too many guys who have accomplished more as a professional.
Which fighters do you think will make it if they never fought again? That's currently right now.
Oh, that's a good question.
Right. So definitely, I think. All right. So here's definitely Canelo, definitely Pacquiao, right? Right. And probably Crawford, probably I would say what's your boy Wilder, probably Fury.
Wilder would make the
Wilder.
Yeah, I think
What's Fury though?
I think Wilder is more definite than Fury, right?
What? What'd you say?
I think Wilder is more a definite Hall of Famer than Fury.
Go ahead, tell us. I'm listening. Go ahead.
I think both of them are probable, right? I think they both will get in the Hall,
Yeah.
but I think Wilder probably has a better claim, but maybe not, right? Whatever. Anyway,
No. You know what? I think I spoke actually has a point there.
Yeah, and so anyway, these are the probables, right? So the definite. Triple G is definite, Canelo's definite, Pacquiao's definite, probable, Terrence Crawford,
Anthony
Fury,
Joshua,
AJ, Fury, AJ, Wilder, Usyk, who else?
better ready made than Lomachenko, or you just personally hate Lomachenko? Smokeless.
I'm just saying probably. I'm just saying probable people. I'm just going through all the divisions and everyone who's active right now. No, everybody just stopped fighting, right? Mikey Garcia is a probable, but I think probably no. I think Broner is another probable, but probably no. And who else is another probable around there?
Rigondeaux.
Rigo, I think it's a probable, but no. I think Porter is a probable, but no, right?
No. Porter, no, not Porter, no.
Right, but I'm just saying he's a probable.
What about Adonis Stevenson? He retired, so what do you?
I'm just talking about the ones that are active right now, right? I'm not even going to the ones that just were active a few months and the guys.
Stevenson Stevenson.
And that's my point about Loma. Like there's a.
Well, I hear you, but what I'm saying is Stevenson didn't retire not too long ago. I mean, unfortunately, he retired in circumstances that he did, but that was almost more than a year ago. So that's still kind of relatively.
And that's what I'm saying. That just bolsters my point. Is that there are even guys who aren't even active right now who will be also considered, right? And we're talking about the guys who are active now, who I think would be ahead of the class. And how many guys are we at? We're like 12 guys already. So you're talking about third ballot?
Yeah, that's true. Let's be real. Most of these guys are getting based off their based off their name recognition and trajectory. Like Arturo Gatti, for example, who got in. Unfortunately, he got in after his death, which is Postama's induction. But in that case, if you're going to do that, then why isn't Diego Corrales in the Hall of Fame? He had a far better resume than Arturo Gatti. So he died in 2005. And it's been 15 years since he's been since his death, and he hasn't been inducted.
Yeah, we're not even talking about guys like Adonis. We didn't mention like Floyd Mayweather's not in yet, right? Yeah, forget that. Like guys we know is going to get in. That's what I'm saying. Like you're just going to push this guy out to like 5th and 6th and 7th ballot, maybe.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, we'll see about that, man. But I don't know. Let's just hope. Next year, Shane Mosley and Bernard Hopkins are inducted this year, along with Juan Mario Marquez.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. Hey, so that'd be good. Let's talk about Dillian White. Anyone got Dillian White losing this week against Povetkin coming up, man?
I think Dillian's winning, but go ahead, y'all can chime in.
I think if Povetkin gets in within the first 3 rounds, that could be a sorry tale. But if he doesn't, White's winning that fight.
I said the same thing. First 3 rounds, absolutely lethal. Anyone, that's what I'm saying. Dillian gonna be in a fight, bro, with that guy and that bob and weave style that Teddy Atlas. He still does the same thing. He don't know any different. He old, but he's just like them old dudes, Like I'm not gonna lie, that one day they can shine and like the other day he can look terrible. But it's like because there's not much in there. There's not much in the tank. That's why some fighters need to retire. But I ain't gonna lie to you. This is the perfect timing for Dillian. If Povetkin's gonna beat him, he's got a change of a trainer. This covert thing. Mm-hmm. We ain't heard nothing from Povetkin. We don't know what he's doing. All I remember is when I saw him, the highlights of him training for AJ. I said, "Yo, look what this guy's doing." This guy was training hard. And then, but AJ was just too younger and too fitter and too stronger. So Dillian needs to be on his game. But can Dillian bridge the gap? Is he a world-class fighter? If he beats Povetkin, I say, yeah. Because remember, Povetkin is one of the most feared guys in boxing for many years. And people were saying him and Ortiz, they were like the two guys that people need to stay away from. I remember that was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. They were saying him. But, you know, if he can bring that back, bring that old demon back, he still hits like a ton of bricks. It's going to be interesting. And Dillian doesn't like them kind of small guys. And then he struggled against Derek Chisora. So I see him having a whole heap of trouble with Povetkin, bro. Real talk.
Same.
Anyone else?
The other question I've got is, will there be drug testing for this fight? Because if there isn't, I think there's going to be a better fight.
I don't know. I know
well, EJ, you Tommy can answer that question because I know in the States they reinstated the drug testing parameters. So what about you guys?
I know they got the corona test. You know, they check that. You know,
they check it for corona. Well, that's mandatory. But I'm talking about the other, like for performance enhancers.
It's what passes the drug test, right? Like the only reason we knew he failed in the first place is because it was a leak, right? Someone leaked that story.
Hey,
who was Big Baby or Dillian White?
Dillian White.
About Dillian White.
I want to hear from PMC because that's PMC's boy. Come PMC, what are you saying about Dillian White? Oh, PMC?
Dillian, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got Povetkin, man. Dillian,
I hate it again.
He ain't been looking too good, man. His last performance was against that walk, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's walk. Yeah, hey, I know PMC don't like. He did, man. Look, Dillian White. Look, first of all, you ain't supposed to be looking terrible against Marion Watt. Okay, he's putting there to make you look good. I'm just keeping it real.
What's his name blew him out? Didn't what's his name knock him out? Didn't Povetkin knock him out or something?
Oscar Rivas. Yeah, Povetkin stopped him. Yeah, he stopped Marius Watt.
So, yo, I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, but Klitschko never stopped him.
What?
Klitschko never stopped him, but I think didn't Big Baby stop Marius Watt? No, he didn't stop him. Yeah, I think Big Baby stopped him.
Did he?
Yeah, I think he stopped him.
And Big Watt was coming off a loss. Dylan White, remember, he got popped. They hit it, and when they don't got the power pellet juice.
Man, I don't want to hear all that stuff. He was talking about he was down and all. He talked too much crap to be, talk about. No, because he like, oh yeah, respect. You know, we never came up with the B sample and stuff like that. The dude's a cherry picker, man. And I don't like him, man. He talks too much garbage.
Yeah, PNC. We know you don't like Dillian, but go ahead.
I tried. You was actually a Dillian White fan. I was about they really exist.
I tried rooting for this dude, man. Back in the day, but then he started talking greasy. You know what I'm saying? He a real greasy dude, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to be just as crazy as him to be a fan of his. You know what I'm saying?
Well, tell that to him, bias.
The stuff he say don't make no damn sense. You know what I'm saying? He's all over the damn place. He contradicts himself all the time. And, and he trying to do his own thing like he's some kind of celebrity and stuff like that. The dude's like, a corner dude. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like they say, what do you say? What's that slang they got for guys that be on the streets? A road man or something like that, man.
Yeah.
Not a yard man, for a road man or whatever. Yeah, but anyway, man, the dude is Champ, man. He gonna get knocked out. Either way it go, man, he gonna get knocked out. He's just trying to position himself to get that check at the end of the day, man. That's what it's all about, man. He's trying to put himself in a good position to get a good payday, man. That's pretty much it. Then after that, man, he's just gonna start getting his ass whooped for everybody.
And that's the thing, and I actually like the way he's positioned himself to get paid. I actually like the lane that he's in. I just hate the fact he talks so bad about fighters that he's not gonna fight. Like if you would just talk less greasy about dudes that you aren't gonna fight, then
Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz.
Luis Ortiz. He ain't for him. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he's supposed to be this tough dude.
Well, you know what's funny about that? Yeah, he had a chance to fight those two guys.
Some stupid ass beads around his neck, like he's some street fighter or some shit like that. On fucking CamCon or some shit.
Capcom.
Yeah, CamCon.
To hear Dylan White tell it, he's the baddest man around. But it's just I don't know, man. He knows he's got all the inside dirt. He knows where all the bodies are buried, and he's always come out on top. And it's just I'm not buying it. Fight better people then. That's it.
Yeah, but yeah, I want him to see him get his. I'm rooting for him, but if he don't look too good, we know it's the PED stuff. Like he's supposed to, because he make fun of homeboy being the old man, but little do they know they only 6 months apart. Luis Ortiz and Povetkin is only 6 months apart in age, so he fighting
exactly. That's he a hypocrite, man. That's what I'm saying, man.
No, hold on a minute. Has anyone actually seen the birth certificate or anything to confirm his age?
Who?
Luis Ortiz.
Yeah, but I mean, why does Luis Ortiz need to confirm?
Marius Wack was 39 when he fought.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but hold on, guys. Let me make this point, right? Just because you're 40-year-old in boxing doesn't mean you're the same as the next 40-year-old.
He said that
correct,
and that was fighting the old man. He said Luis Ortiz. So old. They asked him. He was like, "Who's this guy in my living room?" And then it was like, "No, Luis, you're in the ring." You know, so shit.
Now they're saying he's 50 years old. They're saying he's 50 years old. Now you see that Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr., like real 50-years-olds are coming out. And like what they're saying is ridiculous. It's just stupid.
Smoke.
Tyson, Roy Jones, they look all up.
Fight against two old fighters. You can't.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like once you start seeing what actual 50-year-olds are like, then you're like, all right, there's no way that this dude was out doing jack shit when he's doing it. Like, just stop it with the.
Hold on, but they haven't even fought yet. We haven't even seen them to get it.
But here's what I'm saying to you is, it crystallizes you in your mind how old a real 50-year-old is, right? What you haven't even been doing. Like you remember Mike Tyson from 1989, right? Like that's my whole point. Like so, the thing about sports
Larry Holmes.
It's supposed to be.
But we could also use
Larry Holmes. You saw Larry Holmes in the 80s and stuff like that versus him in the 90s. Like, damn.
My point is that sports is supposed to be a meritocracy. It's not supposed to be ageist anyway. It's not even supposed to be based on your birth certificate. It's supposed to be based on what you did in the ring.
Yeah.
And if he's knocking Kajanu out and knocking out Kaufman and UDing and winning every damn round,
you're
supposed to be in there with that guy.
Look at Otto Wallin. Otto Wallin couldn't even take off Kaufman. Kaufman was like obese and shit. You saw that gut on Kaufman and shit? He threw out his arm and shit.
Yeah, around his on your shoulder. Yeah.
Otto Wallin couldn't even take out a one-arm Kaufman. And then Luis Ortiz whooped his ass.
I got a question for y'all, not to get too much off topic, because this fight here, this is one of the fights I was really looking forward to. And if I was in the UK, I would go. Daniel Dubois versus Slow Motion.
Joe Joyce? Daniel Dubois versus Joe Joyce. Why you going? Hey, hold up! You be hating already, so I already know you.
Ed Dubois.
He's about Daniel Dubois. Listen. I already know.
His surname's French, by the way, guys.
Ed Dubois.
You're funny. But listen to this, right? You be hating already, Jaleel. I can tell that you ain't picking my man Joe. Joe Joyce gonna whip his ass. Joe Joyce gonna. Go ahead.
No, I got Dubois on this.
Nah, man, I got Joe Joyce. Man.
I don't know, man. It's 50-50. It's whoever.
It's a close fight, but I got Dubois.
Dubois look like
okay.
Joe Joyce look like he could take a better punch and he got more experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what you guys don't know is Joe Joyce has already been knocked out in the first round.
Who by?
When?
I don't know.
What you talking about then?
In the amateurs.
No, the amateurs. Who cares about the amateurs? A pro. Hold on. He was a silver.
Oh, you didn't pretend like it didn't happen.
Hold on. All we know is the last time he fought, he should have got the gold medal and he received the silver medal. And he fought in the World Games. So I don't know about when he got knocked over. You don't know he got a silver medal gold. She's a silver medalist in the Olympics.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know.
Okay, all right, yeah. And he's a world game. He fought in the World Games as well. I'm saying he got vast amateur experience. He fought in the World Boxing Super Series 6 rounds. Like he come and his first pro was against Ian Lewison was an English Southern Area champion, his first bout, and he fought Brian Jennings and done well against. He's fought better competition. The only thing is his age and he's older. Like he is slower, but he's tougher. Like that's why it's supposed to be a test for Daniel Dubois.
This is the thing about what the boy he can't do, man. He cannot stand in front of George Joyce because like Brazil, Brazil like know he's slow. Mm-hmm. So he has to. So Brazil go ahead and fire off punches and try to punch with you, and that's what Joe Joyce does, man. He try to fire off with you, man, because he's slow as hell. You know he's slow, and he finishes his punches. He follows through his punches like Danny and shit. You standing right in front of him, man. He gonna tag your ass, and it's like going against a pitcher that you know can throw a fastball, but you looking for a fastball, but he throw a slow ball, man. He throws you off, man. You know what I'm saying? I've seen Dame Dubois is not that fast himself.
Well, I've seen him up close. I've seen him up close. So one of the guys from my amateur gym, one of the heavyweights, right, who won the London developments, they asked him to come down to spar. So he went like, they only put him in for 2 rounds, but like 3 rounds, and he put him with him like, and I was looking at the kid can take some punches, bro. Like that's why he called a juggernaut, because what he does, he just takes what you're giving, and he's slow, but he come back when he start landing his shots. Yo, bro, he saps the whole of your energy. He ain't got no explosive, but he keep tapping. And see, with Daniel Dubois, we saw when he got hit by a journeyman, he ran the other side of the ring. And then nothing as well, when he came to the amateurs, right, to make Team GB, Daniel Dubois couldn't do the trials. He said the trials are too tough for him. That's why he turned pro. So he turned in pro now out of like, bomb the amateurs, I don't need the amateurs, I'm good. But Daniel Dubois has already Joe Joyce already done that. So it's about who can land first and who can. That's what the heavyweight division is about, really. Daniel Dubois can hit. Yeah, guaranteed he can hurt Joe Joyce, but can he take what Joe Joyce is bringing back? And I say no if Joe Joyce can tag him. So I'm going with Joe Joyce. Anyone else? Go ahead.
Only that, Joe Joyce is like damn near 260 something. This dude is big, bro. People don't realize this dude is big.
Yeah, he's 6'6". He's 6'6", 6'7", like 270 and shit.
The only reason, like I'm picking Dubois just because I feel like Dubois gets better in the ring, right? And I'm imagining that he's going to show me something that he hasn't shown me before and get the victory, because that's really what he's been doing. So for me, Joe Joyce has been blasting out.
Man, he's a baby going against a dude that's hungry. That's why Joe Joyce.
He's been blasting out nobody.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's been looking for a fight. Ain't nobody trying to fight him.
Joe Joyce, another guy who was like clout chase Lewis.
No, he's trying to get a fight, man. He ain't got no time.
Man, ain't no one ducking in PMC. PMC ain't no one ducking Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois has been carefully managed, bro. Like they know.
No, I'm talking about. I'm talking about Joe Joyce.
Okay. Yeah, I'm saying Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce. Nobody's ducking Joe Joyce. The only person you can say that didn't take that could be ducking Joe Joyce is Big Baby Miller.
No, Derek Chisora didn't want to fight him either. Derek Chisora ducked him. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The motherfuckers ain't fighting him, bro. What else he got to do? I mean, he's like, so he went all throughout them amateurs and been an amateur forever. He come in at 30-something years old.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what I'm saying? How much time you got? He ain't got no time, no development time.
Yeah, but nobody. But Joe Joyce not old to fight.
So
like, who cares?
I'm just saying. So why isn't like Flip Herkovich and all these other dudes prospects?
Oh yeah. Okay. There you go. Yeah. All right. So
right. So he should have a whole lot. He should have been about all these guys. And
I gotta say that I like the guys that Joe Joyce fought have better names to me than the guys that Philip Hergovich fought or Daniel Dubois. But Joe Joyce and Daniel Dubois have been on this collision course. People wanted to see this fight. It's just that COVID got in the way, so they put everything on hold.
But they gotta fight, man. They ain't in the same backyard, man. You got too many the British heavyweights recycling that Commonwealth belt and that British belt, man. All they do is they pick it up, they get a rank, and they drop it. You got five. You got at least 7 or 8 active heavyweights in the UK, the British that had that British belt, man. And they supposed to be known.
You know that belt. Hey, let me tell you something about that British belt.
There's supposed to be one guy up in the UK, and that's either between AJ and what's the name, and you got the boy, but you got all these guys bringing in all these unnamed fighters and beating them, claiming to beat somebody in the UK, and they only got. And go to BoxRec and look at their list of active fighters in the UK. It's only like 30 of them heavyweights. You know, so you can't tell me 1/3 of them supposed to be all that. You know what I'm saying? They got so Dubois, all them guys got to go ahead and wrap it up and say who's number one in the UK. Is it Fury or what's his name? You know what I'm saying? I got to see these guys, whip each other's ass. They give me a tournament or something like that and get rid of that BK British belt or some shit. They're only 30 something heavyweights.
PMC, see the British belt. They've seen the same British belt. Remember, England used to own half of the world. That belt used to be called the Empire's belt. That belt was considered as a world championship belt back in the day, bro. That's the belt you're talking about. Like, the British belt used to be called the Empire's belt. Like, you know what I mean? If you won that belt, you was like the best in the world. Like, what you talking about? Come on, but the belt, that's one of the oldest belts in history. But like, that's
I need to see somebody hold it.
No, I know, but what? No, but but you're right. You said it was about ranking. You're right about the ranking. They hold it. Yeah, that's what people do. You have to defend it you have to defend it 4 times before you can keep it. But I agree with you.
I'm just saying they shouldn't be passed. It shouldn't be allowed to be passed around. They shouldn't even be a British heavyweight champion. If you got 2 guys on a collision course to be a #1 heavyweight and stuff like that. You can't tell me there's another champion. Like I don't need to see no local guy come up and all this other bullshit. I don't need to see 5 or 7 guys coming out of the UK.
Hold on,
to be British champion, and they're not fighting.
AJ, let me jump in. Right, let me flip the argument then. Then what about flipping the other side where you got more than 2 American fighters? How are you going to deal with that?
Exactly, Tommy.
The thing is, American championship doesn't mean anything to in America.
Right? Like, it doesn't mean anything.
But it's not America. We're talking about the rest of the world and how they see it. That's really
I'm just saying, like the USA title, like that title, it used to be a thing.
I'm talking about the British. That British belt is being recycled.
Yeah, but
so these guys can get so they can.
But the European belt means more than the British belt.
Yeah, I'm just talking about perspective. I ain't see who got the European belt.
But European belt has so much more prestige.
Yeah, but who got it? What heavyweight?
I thought it was Yoka. Is Yoka the European champion?
Yoka's not the European champion. I think it's Caballero. I think he has that title. Caballero.
But that's just a springboard to challenging for a title, world title. That's all.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's a middle world title.
The point I'm trying to make is that it's beneath the British title is beneath the European title.
Well, the European title, European title used to be a world title back in the day, like 100-something years ago. That was it, right? I mean, Jack Johnson, the one black dude he fought was for that diversion, right? Of the European
it was another Johnson. It was another Johnson. He fought him in France for that title, I believe, years ago. But go ahead.
But the European Championship, if Joe Joyce didn't take the fight with Danny Dubois, the European champion heavyweight title was between Philip Hergelbeck and Joe Joyce. So Joe Joyce had, and he chose
Yeah, we beat already though. Joe Joyce beat his ass already. You know what I'm saying? Like this, what I'm saying. Joe Joyce is already proven. You know what I'm saying? If they talk about Philip Hergelbeck, Joe Joyce already smashed him up already.
To me, I got a feeling that his stamina and his chin ain't gonna hold up.
Who Joe Joyce?
He got skills, but speaking on the UK, you got to give him credit because Billy Joe Saunders fought Chris Eubank Jr. when that fight would have been pushed back in the US for 5, 6, 7 years. Like for instance, we love to if Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis was UK, they would be fighting right now. So that
bro, listen, if Billy Joe Saunders and Chris Eubank were American, nobody would give a shit about them.
Also got to give him credit for James DeGale and George Grove fighting.
Yeah, right. So again, if George Groves and James DeGale were American, nobody would care about them.
Hey, credit for
the thing is,
I'm saying the Americans, we have such high standards because of what the Americans have already achieved. Like nobody's going around saying, "Hey, did you beat Frank Bruno's record?" Like nobody does that because people have already beat Frank Bruno's record, right?
You know about the British middleweight division, they have to fight each other because they got to separate because it's so damn deep. They have to separate themselves from one another. They got to fight one another. You know what I'm saying? Because all of them can't claim to be the best when you got the 160 and 168 when you got constantly since I've been watching the past 10 years. There's always been a good representative coming out of there.
I like the Commonwealth fights because the guys really get up for it. Like the fighters and the crowd really gets up for the fight. But it's rare to me. I mean, the last one that I can really remember that was like, oh yeah, that was the shit. Even though there's been a few that I've seen since, is really Dillian White and AJ, right? I mean, you had
Dillian White AJ. That was a good one. Yeah, that was a good coming up as far as prospects, and this one's gonna be good too. Joyce versus Dubois.
And so for secondary titles for like a regional belt, it's actually a good scrap and it's a good time and has a nice tradition to it.
Yeah, it's a good fight. I think it's a good fight. It's a good learning.
I'm just saying I ain't gotta see no British belt. So some guy claim to be some kind of British heavyweight champion, and I'm thinking like, no, you're not. You know what I'm saying? You got Tyson Fury,
AJ,
Joshua out there.
Andy Joshua, Andy Joshua, Dillian White. They fought for.
You need to come close to the microphone.
Andy Joshua and Dillian White. They fought for the British and Commonwealth belt when they fought. So
but I'm just saying, who's a British champion? I mean, wasn't a world champion, British world champion?
Well, that's what I remember was Huey Fury. I don't know one after him.
No, but he is
I don't remember. When they fought,
I'm saying
British
he
guy
won the Commonwealth where he won the British.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, if a dude has a world, let's just say we had a unified champ at heavyweight, and he came from Britain. I mean, how much stock you gonna put in the Commonwealth in a British?
Let me put it into perspective.
No, it's what Tommy was saying. It's that the Commonwealth is a spring. I mean, the British champion belt is generally a springboard to the European one, right?
No,
it's
well,
just
let me amend that. I actually think, EJ, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think that the Commonwealth title is actually more held in higher regard than the British heavyweight title. What do you think?
Well, you know what? Yeah, the Commonwealth. Remember again, the Commonwealth. That was all the countries that England used to own, like India, China, Africa. Yeah, you're right. It was like the Commonwealth. I think what they did, they separated it and had the British belt, which is the British Isles, the champion, and obviously the Commonwealth was more. Again, I remember it was called the Empires. I think they kind of split it when when the UK kind of gave up some countries. But yeah, I think the Commonwealth one was the main one because it represents all the other countries. Because people from Ghana. If you're from Ghana and you're from Canada, you can have the Commonwealth belt. You know what I mean? Because we have the Commonwealth Games and we have all, obviously the people from different countries come to our country. So the Commonwealth belt, other countries can claim that belt. You know what I mean? Nigeria.
Wasn't Parker like the Commonwealth champ or something?
Yeah. Was that?
It wasn't Parker the Commonwealth champ, I think?
Yeah. Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker. Yeah, probably. I won't be surprised.
I have no idea.
You can be, yeah. You
can
and
maybe
Australia, that's part of the Commonwealth, isn't
it? Yeah, Australia's part of the Commonwealth. See what I'm saying?
So it's Canada, isn't it?
Yeah, Canada, Nigeria, Jamaica. They're all part
it's kind of like a fucking weird second Europe.
But this is the thing, yeah. Like England used to own all them countries. That's why, like, that's why, man.
Yeah, the bloody English.
Yeah. They used to own all them countries, so that's what they did.
Oh, and I mentioned it earlier, but another short first ballot Hall of Famer active right now, Nonito Donaire. So you got 4 guys with surefire first ballots right now.
Oh, you back on that again? You back on that one again?
Well, actually, let me just change the subject just for a second, right? And this is only for a second. When David Haye fought Enzo McAnally for the cruiserweight title, was that for the Commonwealth?
David Haye versus Enzo.
No, that was for the world title. That was unification bout.
Oh shit! Yeah, it was. You're right.
Yeah.
All right.
It's all good.
Damn. Talking about Enzo. Enzo's actually trying to make a comeback. The Mike Tyson fight and Tyson Fury, that's been postponed. I was looking forward to Jake Paul and Nate Robinson. I wanted to see that fight. I was looking forward to that fight. I thought that was going to be a good fight still. But any other news before we kind of any other news before we hang up and we can just carry on chatting because we're live right now. Any other news we want to talk about?
Well, we were talking about this earlier, but Katie Taylor versus Ardell Fiber-Soon. That matchup is next week, rematch. So, I think McCaskill is going to be looking at that fight very closely, see who the winner is going to be.
hopefully they want Taylor to win it, but that could set up the rematch between McCaskill versus Katie Taylor.
I don't think the brother man cares about them fights. I told you, Dan. Like, I know that's cool. I don't think guys care about that fight too much. I think women's boxing is still. I mean, even what like Carissa Shields done, it's like well impressive. But I looked and I was like, the needle didn't even move. So Jessica McCaskill beating Cecilia Braekhus, like people, no one even saw her. Now they see her getting her ass whipped. Ain't no one really care about it like that. You know what I mean? It's harsh. But that's the truth. That's what I said to you. A lot of women's boxing, they need to establish themselves in America and start reigning and knocking out. See, Clarissa Shields, this is the thing. She says she's the GOAT, but how many girls she'd be knocking out? If she was knocking out girls, she'd get more attention. But she decisions a lot of girls. Layla Ali was knocking out girls. Christy Martin was whooping ass. That's the reason people like to see people getting nicked the deck. When John O'Sullivan was doing his thing back in the bare, he was knocking cats out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes want to see people getting spurned out. I mean, it's brutal, but that's what it is. You want to see people getting laid out. If you see chicks getting laid out, that's gonna get attention, and that's what you can't call yourself the greatest if you ain't knocking out cats. I don't care what she's saying. Well, I'm fighting the best. I'm fighting better competition than you did. That's why I can't. These girls ain't want to lay it out. Because what are you talking about? Ain't nothing to do with that, bro. Like straight out, you need to lay these chicks out. You know what I mean? You got hands. You know what I mean? So. Hey, I tell you what, about McCaskill, she be throwing some hands though. She throws some good hands though, but rest of the guys on the panel, they don't really care about no women's fighting. I can tell.
No, that's not true. That's not true at all. It's just that this rematch, the first fight wasn't that good. The controversy was just in the decision, right? It's not like these are two high operators, right? It's not. The level of proficiency that they showed. I mean. I don't really need to see the fight again. I just wish the result was different.
See, there you go.
Are you talking about McCaskill versus Taylor or Taylor versus Person?
No, Taylor versus Person. Taylor versus Person.
He's right.
That fight, it was like, I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's cool that she gets another shot at it, but the fight itself, I wish the only reason why I wanted it to happen again is because she didn't get the result. It wasn't because I thought it was a good fight.
See, what you're saying is that the level of their fighting style, their fighting skill set is low. Women's skill set is still low. You see what I'm saying? Like, and that's nothing.
I mean, between those two, but right, I mean, Clarissa Shields. I saw. It's hard to get too high operators.
Cecilia Braekhus. Cecilia Braekhus is low as well. Cecilia Braekhus, her level, her fight.
Right? She looked a little old and sloppy.
But she never had a great fighting style either. Like, I didn't see people breaking their necks when she used to fight anyone to go see. We usually check the replay, but her fighting style is not attractive, and that's what I'm trying to say to you. To let people know that a women's boxing is here. Like Layla Ali had it. She pretty, she talks shit, and she's got her dad's backing. She's good to go. She got everything you need to get the attraction to get everyone to go where you at. You know what I'm trying to say? Now you got but then you got buck teeth, Clarissa Shields with her bad teeth talking about just saying she got bad teeth. She looks like she's cross-eyed and she calls herself T-Rex, right? T-Rex, them little arms. She funny as hell though, but she looks goofy. And she out here with her brother beating up trainers.
I knew it was coming out. I knew when you started saying it.
Yo, brother beating.
Why are you holding her responsible? She did not hold the trainer down. She didn't put the object in the brother's hand. She is not doing that with her brother.
I agree with you on the knockouts part. I was thinking the same thing, like off or something. But at the same time, she is slowly bringing it back though. Her paydays is getting higher. She's finding on Showtime, but if the rounds is only 2 minutes, it's like you go to the bathroom. That's like 3 rounds, So,
but hold on, was Clarissa Shields, was Layla Ali and Christy Martin? Didn't they have 2 minutes as well? And they still whoop ass. They were still knocking girls out in a couple. They only took them a couple of seconds.
But look at the asses they're whooping, right?
Yo, but what I'm saying to you, you see in the bigger things, people don't care. Yeah, see the thing is, they might be better level of girls, but in the bigger scheme thing, people don't care. Like when Mike Tyson was whooping ass, ain't no one care. Like when Triple G was smashing skulls, ain't no one care. Like we're talking about for the casual. Like we want to see people getting sprayed out. When we used to see Curtis Stevenson get knocked down by Triple G, it was like, woo! You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, exactly. Do you remember how that? You remember how that was trending? I remember when I used to see Christy Martin, right? She used to knock the out of girls, bro, and they used to be replayed. Yo, bro, she was evil, bro. She was smashing girls.
That Ann Wolf knockout still to this day.
Oh yeah, the tall girl. Yeah, the heavyweight. Ann Wolf went up to heavyweight, not that the heavyweight, the girl with American shorts, right? Yo, that was yo.
That, 6 foot.
You know that. You know that. You know that's funny, right? That was the undercard of Roy Jones versus Joe Maurice. That was the undercard of that. That knockout was wicked, bro. That was that was a wicked. That was brutal.
I thought Ronda Ward was.
That fight was absolutely horrible. Didn't the trainers get into it? Didn't one trainer knock the other guy out?
Yeah.
No, that was John Ruiz's trainer. What's his name? Nelson. What's that dude?
The guy from Boston, isn't it? You were talking about? Yeah. He was funny. That trainer was funny. What's his name again? Smitty, not Smitty. Dooley. No, what's his name again? I can't remember.
I forgot his name. I know what you're talking about, but yeah, he was always getting into it with everybody, man. He got into it with Roy Jones' trainer. He got into it with referees. The referees even had to kick his ass out of the fucking ring. I mean, like now the ring, he had to tell him to go back to the locker room. That's the first time I've ever seen shit like that happen.
Is it Stookie?
The referee had to do that.
Is it from the fight? What's his name? Stookie? Is it Stookie or Stocky or something like that? Stocky or something like that? Shooky. No, it's got kind of Irish kind of thing. Is it Stookie?
Shooky like that.
Shooky or something like his name was. Yeah, he was funny as hell. James Toney punked him good as well. But let me tell you something. No, on the reals, yeah, like listen to me. Americans, right? The people like badasses, right? James Toney used to talk ish, right? And he used to act real.
Yeah,
real.
It was Norman Stoney.
Stoney. That's what they used to call him, Stoney. Stoney, and he goes, Stoney, you a phony. And James Toney goes, Stoney, you a phony. And he goes, James Toney, you ain't doing shit. He was talking mad shit. Let me tell you something. See, the thing is, people don't like that stuff. It's vulgar, right? But trash talking and kicking ass and taking names is what's up. It's what's up, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. So the women, they want to act all respectful, but really and truly, people, and Clarissa Shields said, all right, I'm gonna be a bad girl, but she kind of trying to be a bad girl, and it was good though. But at the same time, her brother in that situation, I don't know if Showtime kicked her off, or I'm not too sure. I don't think they have. And then, you know, the whole court case of her brother, it was just unnecessary. And we know Mr. Bashir over here because I talk to Mr. Bashir a lot of times. And Mr. Bashir is still suffering from the damages of her. Even though Chrissy reached out to Mr. Bashir, and you know what I mean, and had a conversation with him, it's unfortunate. I don't blame Chrissy Shields for it, Smoke. But what I'm trying to say to you is that them sort of things is really bad. You know what I'm saying? And we live in a sensitive time when women, you have the Me Too movement, you know, women who've been raped and touched and all them things there. So it's funny to see women getting the ass whooped out on TV. I don't know if the public wants to see that right now. You know what I mean? I mean, boxing is still barbaric. I mean, we like some barbaric stuff. I mean, all of us on the panel, you go think about it, we be looking for that bloodlust.
Yeah.
The thing is, man, I can appreciate a guy who squelches all that bloodlust. I love what Canelo did in the first fight against Triple G. You know, I was a big Pernell Whitaker fan, big Floyd fan, big fan of making the proper adjustments so it doesn't turn into a bloodbath. Yeah, win that fight.
Yeah, I mean that happens, and we can get good fights without any blood.
I mean, it's funny. Loma gets praised for it. Like we said that, you know, we need knockouts. We're talking about how he's a Hall of Famer. You know, outside of Crolla, shout out to Jack Reed's body cam. You know, he did fold up Linares. He folded up Pedraza. Sosa.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say, for women's fighting, for them to get on the map, they need some knockouts, bro. They need some women getting shook up, their legs getting shook. You know what I mean? Their legs getting shaken out and getting shut down. But go ahead, Dan.
No, I was gonna say we had one 2 weeks ago, but no one really cared too much about it. I guess because the name wasn't that big. Was Seneda Superbad Estrada against that Miranda Atkins? That was bad. That was horrible.
That's what you need, though. But that's what you need, though. But this is what I'm gonna say. That mismatch, that was she shouldn't deserve to be in the ring. But the level of women is so bad that that's how it is, man. But that's what I'm trying to say. It's like some guys even comment on the women's boxing. But what I'm saying to you is this: end of the day, it's still a man's sport. The men, we still drive it, the paydays and everything like that. So for women to get in it, there's quite a few things they need to do, but they need to establish some characters. And like with what's his name, Cecilia Braekhus over in Denmark, if she did this in America, I think it would have been more it would have done more if she was in an American than it ever did in Denmark. But America is still the capital of the world in terms of the media. And like, I'm not saying England we still have a big media thing, but like everyone knows, you go to America, you do have a great fight in America, you can bring back the audience back to your country. That's how it works usually. You know what I mean? Go backwards and forwards. But our sport is a world sport. We need to understand first and foremost. So wherever the paydays are, wherever the big fights are, the champions need to be able to pick up their bags like Jessica McCaskill and go to another country and go represent. Terence Crawford did it. Tim Bradley did it. You know, Muhammad Ali did it. Mayweather never did it. But I'm just saying, he didn't.
Yeah, he never did it. I mean,
Pacquiao did. Pacquiao went to New Zealand, Australia, and you saw what happened down there, right? You know what I'm saying?
Pacquiao's been all over the world, technically. Yeah, so, you know, he definitely has his clout there. And Anthony Joshua would have done it if he had gotten that one over Ruiz over here in the States. I'm just saying. Yeah. I mean, Tyson Fury did it, so, you know.
Yeah. And the funny thing
Klitschko did it.
Yeah, the funny thing about it, right? You don't fight. Like, you look at some of the old-time fights. They went wherever the biggest purses were, they went with the fights are. So a lot of the girls, you know, Argentina, Mexico, wherever the fights are, you go wherever the biggest paydays are. And that's how you build a sport, because you look at the guys in the 70s, they used to be traveling all around the world, bro, defending their belt around the world. You know what I'm trying to say? That's how you get world recognition. But I guess with our sport right now, like, we still think our sport's one of the biggest. It does gravitate. Tyson Fury, Wilder, it got a lot of people watching that fight, but that outcome was horrible. What happened to Wilder in front of millions and millions of people on TV? That was horrible. What happened to Wilder? Ear bleeding. Tyson Fury busted him up, bro. I don't even know how Wilder's confidence is going to come back from that, but that was a world event because it was heavyweight. I don't know if it's going to garner that much attention after, but you know, if Wilder would have won, it would have been great for America, I guess so. But for the UK, I think when Tyson Fury came back, there was a bit of a crowd, but I don't think no one cares. Tyson Fury he's a depressant. I don't think he likes the big crowds anyway.
Well, it probably has more attention now, given the whole BLM. Hold on. I hear you, BSC. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I was just gonna say though, it would probably probably have more attention now, given the fact that the Joshua situation, how that turned out, because, you know, with the whole BML situation with George Floyd, when Joshua came out and made that speech, and now all of a sudden the UK fans are someone turned over on Fury's side, and no disrespect, but this is obvious what's going on. When he made that speech, which is deemed controversial, this is how the whole tide has turned over to Fury's
illusion. If your fans is your fans, and you got
to
root against, they still a fan, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter. You still got fans. It don't matter.
The issue is what kind of fans, right? So he had a broad appeal of some very shallow fans, right? They're there for a good time and not really for him, but he represented a good time, right? But I was just gonna say that when it comes to the whole really just UK and Wilder coming back and all that stuff, I think it's all just kind of cap and game. Like, Fury is hard to root for and he's hard to root against at the same time. Right? He's just one of those guys. AJ, I don't know. He's still a work in progress. I really like the division. I hope these guys, I wish them all the best. I hope they come back.
Speaking of AJ, man, he's got an injury, man. I mean, this fight with Pulev has been put back for a long time now. So is he gonna be 100%? Is he gonna be 100% though? What's up? What's up, Tom?
What injury did he go? Because that's the first I heard.
Yeah, an ankle injury. That's why they had to push the fight back. They wait for him to recover from that.
Yeah, and that whole march, whatever gathering, as Eddie Hearn put it, or thing that Tommy was referencing, the Black Lives Matter, not Black, or was it not?
It was Black Lives Matter. It was.
Sorry, it was Dan the Man, not Tommy. That was
it was me.
He was wearing a whole brace. He was on crutches.
Yeah, he was injured, man. He's still injured, man. They're waiting for that ankle to heal, man. It looked like it was a bad injury. So I don't know how that happened, but maybe it happened in training. I don't know, but they're waiting for him to heal up from that. And I don't know, man.
I'm just gonna make one last point. There was a lot of people. Like, the thing about Loma is he doesn't speak English and he's little, right? Tyson Fury speaks English. He talks his trash. He's quick-witted. And there's a demographic in America that was hoping that that Tyson Fury could win so they could root for him, right? I think this next fight
is going to say that Fury's not little.
You want Lomachenko to have the popularity of Frick? Why does that matter?
I don't care who has the popularity. I'm saying that there's a demographic that's missing in combat sports and boxing, right? There's a bunch of people who identify as like white or European, whatever the hell, is they like to see white fighters win. And the more that you can speak English, the better that helps. The wider your appeal is.
Man, it's not perfect. Remember Pacquiao when he first came? Did you see the first Barrera fight? He spoke no English, and then he progressed. It's a marathon, not a sprint, bro.
I get it. Pacquiao came in at 105 as a young man. He's still around at 20 years old. At this point, Loma is 20 years old. He's 33 years old. And
so is Felix Trinidad. He didn't speak that much of English. I mean, not even close to it. Look what he did.
All I'm saying is they tried with Triple G to captivate this demographic, captivate this audience. It didn't work because English wasn't there. They tried with Loma. It hasn't worked. Now, but both of those guys aren't heavyweights, and neither one of those guys have the charisma of a Tyson Fury. So I'm saying to you, when it comes to this whole like whether or not the third fight is going to be, whether or not have an appeal, I think it'll have a wider appeal and even a different one than the other two fights had.
I think there's another difference as well, because if you compare Loma to Pacquiao, right? Unless you're a connoisseur of boxing, you're not really going to appreciate Loma. But a lot of casuals are going to appreciate Pacquiao.
That's a good point. I mean, I agree with that. I guess it depends on the situation as far as getting, becoming an attraction here in America, being a non-English speaker. I mean, it depends on the times, because like with Trinidad, for example, with Chavez Sr. and those guys, I mean, I guess they took advantage of the time where, I guess back then the boxing, I mean, yes, it was a big pool, but it wasn't much of a big pool of fighters back then, because you still have to understand there was still other countries at the time that were developing. You know what I mean? So now you have far more developed countries. Now you have far more fighters, or there's a far bigger pool of fighters now as it was before. Now it's kind of making it difficult to compete. It's like a saturated market. You see what I'm saying? Or as far as kind of compete for the spotlight. So with that said, I mean, it's one of the bunch. Pacquiao's lucky to get in the mid-early 2000s and, to get in to spotlight. I mean, so is Trinidad and Chavez Sr. and whatnot. But now, I mean, it depends, man. I mean, it's tough. I mean, unless you're I'll say you're heavyweight. I mean, unless you're kind of like the Manny Pacquiao type of fighter, or if you're like, I mean, Lomachenko's close to that, but they haven't really marketed him. They try to market him as best they can, but he's just not clicking to the fan base. He's not, as they would want him to. So, I mean, he's still got work to do, in my view. It's very tough right now. It's like you got to be a trash talking dude. You got to be like a Ricardo Mayorga, for example. He didn't speak English, but he was a trash talker. People like that. So if you can get somebody like that, you don't have to speak English, but if you can talk trash and be the villain, then you're good.
Right. So Tyson Fury can go stand next to LeBron, right, and be like right there, right? Like, look, like that's what I'm saying. Like, the dude is big as shit. He talks a lot of shit, and they've been trying to cultivate the demographic, especially Bob Arum and ESPN. I think they're gonna sell the hell out of this third fight.
No, they reported that Al Heyman is in negotiation to make Gary Russell versus Crawford.
That's where are they reporting that at? What website?
On Dante's Boxing Nation.
Yeah, that sounds crazy. Yeah, maybe they could do it, because I mean, he is with Al Heyman it's not exclusive, so I mean, he can negotiate this on his own. But I guess they use Al Heyman just to make sure he get his money. He do that lifting weights. You know how you lift weights and you start looking in the mirror and you get your muscles and shit. Come on, man, he gonna get himself hurt, bro.
Nah, what do you think? Do you think that Gary Russell Jr. beats Burchell?
I don't know.
That's a grudge fight, because they had a thing going on in the amateurs where he snuffed him.
No, I mean I got that. I got all that. I got the backstory, all that ridiculousness. But like, really, do you think that Gary Russell Jr. beats Miguel Bichette?
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest with you, because I definitely don't think he'll beat Shakur. He might beat Kid Galahad, but that's a tough fight for him too. I don't know if he can beat.
So that's just at 130, right? So let's just go through it. Do you think he beats? Do you think he beats Richard Comey?
No, he don't beat Comey. He don't beat Devin Haney. I don't think he beat Ryan Garcia, bro. That's too much.
Does it beat Luke Campbell?
Nah.
Right. So that's the interest in this fight. Like that's why it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like you can pick guys at 130 that probably beat him. A ton of guys at 135 that beat him that don't even have belts.
Yeah, man, it's the story. It's the story of him.
Now you're talking about going through
Crawford, man. That's what it's about. It ain't got nothing to do with if we able to beat them or not, man. It's a great match.
I'm just saying, I don't think there's going to be any interest in the fight.
I think people gonna want to see him get his ass.
Should I watch it? I'll watch it.
You gonna watch Terrence Crawford versus Gary? I mean, okay.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I get it, but we watch everything, right? I'm talking about general interest in the fight.
It's better than watching them talk shit on Instagram and shit. I would rather see them get in a fight in the ring and beat each other up. Just talking shit all fucking time.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I mean, that would stop that, though. And people,
no, it wouldn't. Canelo and Floyd still talking shit. Nobody gives a damn. They're still talking shit.
No, I was just about to say, if every time somebody talks shit and then they promoted it and made the fight, I think people would fall back from talking shit.
Gary Russell supposed to be possibly engaged in fight Devin Haney. That's unrealistic. I don't see how he can beat Devin Haney. So
right. Yeah. I mean, it's just come on, man. Like if Terrence Crawford says, I'm not going to fight Keith Thurman, I only want champions, but then turns around and fights a guy from 126 pounds.
A guy that sucker punched them in the street. See, this is why that backstory is going to sell, because we all know that the guy sucker punched him when he was younger, and now they both pro athletes, and they've been talking shit, so they got a chance to fight.
Right. So, the only thing is, Terrence Crawford, the way he explained it, it doesn't need squashing. It's already squashed. He said, you sucker punched me when I was 18 years old. I'm 30-something years old now. There's no backstory to that. That's like saying you talk shit about me in high school, but you're damn approaching me. Like, who gives a He's like, dude, I'll kill you now. Nobody gives a damn about
this guy. Now that the promoters and shit is reaching out to make the fight happen, like, so you got a chance to whip this nigga ass legally. I'm not gonna knock him. All I'm saying is, I'm not gonna knock him for wanting to knock somebody out that sucker punched you, like when you was younger.
Oh, bro, dude is up like 5'4", bro. He's like small, like he's. Really
I mean, and it's not like Terrence Crawford started talking shit to him first. The nigga's calling out Terrence Crawford. What you want him to do?
Trying to catch him.
But fights that matter, because none of the shit that you talk about so far matters at all.
You know, Crawford got the Dean Street. You see, he done the dude from Philly, that was talking shit about his wife. You see what happened? What's his name? He fought one.
Hank Lundy.
Yeah. Him. Imagine what he gonna do to Gary Russell. I don't want to see nobody get killed in the ring, bro. That's dangerous.
I ain't gonna say killed in the ring, but maybe guys gotta be held accountable for the shit they say.
That's cool. I mean, that's cool being held accountable. All I'm saying is the dude couldn't. He had no pop in his gloves at 122 pounds. Like now you're talking about fighting a guy who could get a belt at 154 and picking off the
look, man, don't nobody even like Gary Russell, man. They want to see his ass get popped in the mouth, man.
Yeah, but that's cool. Let him get popped in the mouth by
him and the Russell family.
Let me ask y'all this. Wait, hold on, RG, hold up. What commission in the world? What in the world would a commission even sanction this type of fight? I mean, seriously. I mean, where is this going to be? I mean, Gary Russell literally going to have to climb up 5 different weight classes to fight Terrence Crawford.
It could be an exhibition.
That showing that he's 143 right now.
Don't matter. That's not his fight weight. His fight weight is 126.
And that's fight weight is never weight you want to fight at.
Oh, he's gonna come as welterweight. All right.
Yeah, is that easy? You're fighting a guy who rehydrates the goddamn 170 pounds outside the ring and sometimes way close to that in his fight nights.
Let him get paid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm just saying, what commission would even sanction this fucking fight?
I don't care.
Crazy. That'd be crazy if they do that.
Hey, take that shit. Take that to Memphis. Hey, they take that to Memphis, man. Take it to Memphis, and I want to see him get his ass. I want to see him get his ass whipped. I'll pay per-view.
Listen, he can do whatever the hell he wants with his career. Both of them can.
Yeah, you know what? At the same time, they can look at it and say, "Hey, well, you know what?" At the same time, they can look at it.
This is not about what grown men do to make money. This is about what I think is a competitive fight, a compelling.
I don't need a competitive.
It's all capturing my imagination. I don't just need to see Terrence Gary Russell Jr. get in the ring and get his ass whipped by Terrence Crawford because he talked a lot of shit. I don't find that compelling.
We don't watch it. I'm watching it. Me and PC gonna pay our money, and we gonna watch him get his ass whipped because he needs to get his ass whipped because he talks too much ish. That's what I know. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. If that's the general attitude of people, like for me, I want Terrence Crawford to fight Manny Pacquiao, but you guys want him to go around punishing.
Pacquiao don't want to get his ass whooped.
Yeah, right. Exactly. At least that's the fight that matters. It's not about.
Manny Pacquiao don't want to get his ass whooped.
Yeah, I hear you, dude. For me, I figure like Terrence Crawford has better things to do with his time than to be the damn reckoning.
Crawford got to feed his family.
Manny retires tomorrow, and he's out of the picture. Then who's left?
They want to make a fight, let him fight.
Yeah, it's it. I mean, listen, they like I said,
Roy Jones Mike Tyson fight is a waste of fucking time. Shit, they shouldn't even be promoting that bullshit. I don't see them old motherfuckers fight.
Hey, that's what I say.
Yeah,
but then
that's an exhibition fight.
Yeah, I mean, people still go to see.
Yeah, but shit, what it is, it's still a waste of time. They can do that in the alley somewhere. Shit.
I mean, I get
but people still want to watch it.
If they can fight on YouTube and they ain't got to promote it and all that other shit. They waste my money.
Gary Russell. Now, if he fight,
you go by the panel, and there's 7 people on the panel, and out of the 7, only one person don't want to see the fight. That means that fight is a good watch.
No, it doesn't. It just means that you're on the panel with a bunch of people who want to see the fight.
Yeah, but I'm saying that.
Which fight we talking about here?
If you go by those numbers, that's a good ratio.
Yeah. That's a good ratio for this phone call, sure, but that doesn't translate to actually interest in the fight outside of this phone call.
Hold on, which fight are we talking about?
It will be because
Gary Russell Jr. versus.
Because when Gary Russell was talking shit, he was going back and forth. A bunch of people went to their website, the websites to watch it and comment on it. A bunch of them.
That's how.
If you get them to do a little 2-fight or a 3-fight episode before the fight and all of that, and you build it up. Yeah, people gonna watch that shit, especially with the talking shit.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, we knew the Mayweather and McConnell-McGregor shit. That wasn't gonna be no good fight in the ring. But the best part about that shit was when them guys was out there talking shit. Like right now,
they promoted the shit out of that fight.
It's a big part of it. Like if you don't got that the entertainment part of the game down pat, then it's gonna be a tough sell.
Correct. And which guy hyped up a fight in the pre-fight between Terrence Crawford and Gary Russell Jr.? Either one of them. So see, here's the thing about Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. Both guys knew how to sell a fight beforehand and already had a huge commercial following and wide and deep following, and also proven commercial success. That is neither Gary Russell Jr. nor Terrence Crawford enjoyed that status at this point. And both of them have personalities that are actually like slightly repulsive, right?
Nah,
and they don't really know how to sell it.
Gary Russell's turned the corner with his trying to be out there and with promotions. Hold on.
What you just said to Gary Russell?
Let me remind you. Hold on, before you comment. Let me remind you what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is basically that how he was going about with the Santa Cruz thing. He walked up on this far. He almost going more entertainment than lately. He's been more of an entertainer than a boxer because he made more posters and talked about fighters than he did even getting in the ring, because he only been fighting one time a year. And he's been doing more talking and entertaining than boxing. So this is what I'm saying. He turned the corner of being out there and being more outspoken. He's doing that a lot more. So right now, as far as him talking up the fight, he's already done that because he got Al Heyman even talking about pitting him in the ring with Terrence Crawford. And that's all come from him talking shit. So as far as promoting the fight, he's already turned the corner with doing that.
Right. So the only issue is, like as I was saying, the dude had no power at 122. His lack of power has carried up to 126. You imagine that it's going to continue to carry up through 3 and 4 weight classes, and the amount of shit talking doesn't make up for just that. Like one guy is on a knockout streak in his actual weight class, another guy is just talking shit on the internet. And I get that there's been a negative interest towards him, but it's amongst people who already knew who he was in the first place. It's not like he's garnering more interest through all the shit talking. He's just changing the opinions of him, of people who already knew who the hell he was, and turning him off. Right? Just lastly, a lot of fights, right, have to do with the bookies, right? They like Vegas. They want some odds, and the odds of Gary Russell Jr. like the only thing is going to be his prop bets, like what round is going to get knocked out in.
Yeah, that's true, man.
But at the same time, it was the same thing with Mikey. Mikey did the same thing. He talked his way into the Spence fight by just talking shit. Let's not act like we haven't seen.
Yeah, but Mikey at least had 140 pound. Mikey had a 140 pound belt and knocked the champ down in the fight to get it, right? So it's not like Mikey.
But when did he fight at 147?
It does. What has Gary Russell done in 130?
No, I'm not. That 130 got nothing to do with 140.
Okay, how about 135?
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna name.
Okay, how about 140?
No, you're gonna name all these weight.
Okay, exactly. It's not Mikey Garcia. It's not Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia went up one weight division.
At 147.
Correct, and he went up one.
But he still got a title shot there.
Great. That's by going up one. It would be different if we were talking about Terrence Crawford at 135, the lightweight. But if we're talking about Terrence Crawford, the lightweight, then I'd be like, okay, fine. Maybe if you're talking about the super lightweight or the junior welterweight, okay, fine. It's still a stretch. Now you're talking about like really, what are we talking? Like, why are we doing this? But now you're gonna go actually from a welterweight. Are you for real?
Yeah,
because he's talking shit.
He is for real.
Man, whatever, man.
Shakur beating Gary Russell. Would y'all like to see Better BF beat Jamel Charlo? I know a lot of people don't like Jamel, but would you really want to see fight Better BF? He would get.
Yeah, he talks a lot of shit. Let's get his come up this time. Like what? Okay.
But that's dangerous.
I mean, but we know this is a grudge match, so this is different.
Nah.
So what is it?
Yeah, Charlo doesn't have the frame to move up to 175, in my opinion.
Ain't no grudge. That's the street. That's done, bro. They was like kids.
And no, we didn't even what you call it. They probably might fight at a catchweight too, but
I'm saying like if Carlos Pike can make 175 pounds, but
we gotta wait to see how that turns out.
Yeah, I don't want to see a nigga get a body in the ring, bro. That's dangerous, bro. For him, he ain't have a decision since Victor Postal. Crawford knocking everybody out. He might damn near be the biggest puncher at 147.
I mean, it's the way fucking Russell been talking. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I know, because Russell, that's how Russell is. He's like a guy. I think and I like the guy. I've been watching him since 4 rounders on each HBO. I like him actually, but it's just I
think JoJo Diaz would give him that work if he knew how to punch without having to set his feet.
Right.
Yeah. And Terrence Crawford's not gonna have that. Man, dude, he's like 10 feet taller. This dude, face. Like, what are we talking about, man? Come on, man. For real. This just sounds like Gary Russell Jr. hate. Come on, just say you don't like Gary Russell Jr. Let's move on.
Yeah, that's like, bro. You don't want nobody catch your body in a ring, bro. That's dangerous, bro. Yes.
Yeah, like I said, we gotta see who sanctioned it.
Hey, man. Listen, if that's what they want to do,
if
that's what they want to do with their time and their money and their energy, I'm not gonna boycott it. I'm with you guys.
Yeah,
I just don't think it's competitive at all.
Yo, let's talk about a competitive fight. So YG, I know YG's got Josipa Lopez winning against Lomachenko. Has anyone else got Josipa Lopez? And I mean, because I'm going with Lomo. Anyone else?
You going with Lomachenko by coefficient, but I can see him getting knocked out. Did y'all talk
Yeah,
about?
I still got Loma right now.
Did y'all
I still
talk
got the fight not happening actually, but sure, Loma.
Oh, I thought it was okay. But who do y'all got on Eladar Alvarez and Joe Smith? This is a good fight. Joe Smith he made Jesse Hart look crazy. He fighting this Saturday. Who y'all got winning out?
That's a good fight. I got Eladar Alvarez beating his ass, bro. Joe Smith, like he beat Hopkins, and like you know what I mean. But didn't he lose against Fanfara? Was it Fanfara whooped his ass? Yeah, Fanfara was about that. Fanfara was he's a good little Polish fighter, Polish prince.
He went through that champion phase too. When you win the title and then you come out the next time and you don't look right. That all it's easier to win the championship than it is to keep it.
Yeah, that's a Joe Smith. I'll watch that. They'll fight. I'll take a couple rounds, get him out of there. I'm gonna turn that one off.
So what? Oh, that come on next week the same time as the Dillian fight. No, the Dillian fight gonna be early in the day because that shit is in England. That shit gonna be like at 5:00.
It's mad fights on Saturday, bro. It's like,
When's the Porter fight? Is that this Saturday?
Fight is this Saturday, yeah. So it's 3 different fights,
Yeah. All the networks got a fight next week.
Yeah.
We got
come on. I just looked at it. Come on, bro. Gary Russell Jr. is shorter than a set.
He's small, but he's 5'4", and his reach is. That's why you notice he always fight in the pocket, and he really can't fight going backwards, and he flat-footed. But he fast though. I mean, I like the guy, but you just gotta be realistic. Even with him fighting Shakur, can y'all see him beating Shakur? He got a bunch of.
I mean, y'all saying that like if we the ones that saying should this fight happen, they negotiate in the fight. This ain't something this ain't the match that we ask like, yo, what do y'all think about this fight? They negotiate and like they thinking about that shit.
No, actually, Dante's Boxing Nation is talking about it, and now we're talking about it because Dante's Boxing Nation is saying whether or not they're negotiating it as a horse of another color. That's I know that they were talking shit, and but they actually action in that. Can they actually make that fight?
Yeah, them grudge matches, them are the easiest fights to make, man. When two people want to fight each other.
Yeah, I don't want no bodies though.
There's grudge matches don't generally happen, 5 divisions apart.
I feel bad if he kept a body in there, so that's
4 divisions.
Yeah, but I mean, he gonna win, but I'm not gonna go into the fight thinking that because when you go in the fight thinking somebody's gonna get totally slaughtered, that's what's like crazy happens.
Does he even have a puncher? Like, if he can't, like,
what puncher chance? He's not a puncher. He's literally not a puncher.
Okay, does he have a boxer's chance?
Yeah, but Crawford don't have the greatest chin either. So.
Okay, he doesn't have the greatest chin. Because Crawford has been down that we've seen how many times? Once against Green Machine didn't get called, and then who else?
Pocket, and he could use his speed, but of course.
I ain't gonna front. I can see him straight trying to punish him in there. That shit is bad.
What if he can't take the punishment? What if he hits him in the chest and he hits him so hard he turns to dust and blows away?
Nah, he can't go that. He can't go. Like that's one thing. You being disrespectful, man. I think Gary Russell's body is not going.
Oh, come on, man.
Okay, all right. So let's just go through the recent memory of the Dare to Be Greats. Let's rewind the clock. Let's go back to the year, 2017. Guillermo Rigondeaux versus Vasily Lomachenko. How'd that work out? Okay, so let's go back a little bit further. 1 year before that, Dare to Be Great, Kell Brook versus Triple G. How'd that work out? You know,
So to be fair, Kell Brook actually
that's two weight
he gave
classes.
a good cut of himself that night.
Yeah, what you call it?
He gave a good account of himself and also gave one of him died. Right?
Yeah.
Better defense than Kell Brooks, though, man.
He sure does. And you know what he also does? Have two more weight divisions to contend with other than those two guys I just mentioned.
Yeah, but Brook actually, in my opinion, Brook came into that fight looking bigger than Triple G.
Yeah. So that would have got him, you know, at least one more division. So he still would have been a division and a half behind.
You facetious man.
I'm just trying to say, man, look, whatever, man. Cool. Like, at least, you know, Canelo, Rocky Fielding, say whatever you want about Rocky Fielding. He at least took a stop at 168 and tested the water.
Anyway, yo, I'm gonna end the live broadcast because I don't think there's other topics, man. But we're gonna continue talking out here. But I appreciate everyone coming in. You guys make sure you subscribe if you ain't already, like and all that stuff, and we'll catch you on the next one, boy. Because ain't nothing more to stay. But I tell you what, the boxing's heating up this Saturday. We're gonna be there. Be there.